Hello and welcome to TSTV. What the fuck do we say on this thing? I was like, I have a cold open. It's November 6th, 2024 at 11:03 a.m. Lily, how's it going?
Oh, buddy, it's going, very much this morning. I'll tell you that much. Oh my god, I have so much oat milk in my system. I'm more oat than woman. I was up until 2:30 last night watching the election coverage, and I'm just like, it's been like a struggle to stay awake all morning, but I the show means a lot to me. I know it means the world to our thousands of viewers worldwide.
We record these motherfuckers very in advance. You really are viewers pilled.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so fun. Yeah, listen, we record these guys in advance. This is what it is. This is the day. I think we're just embracing it. I think it'll bring a fun energy.
Yeah.
What do we have to say? What do we have to say on the eve of Donald Trump's second election? On the morn?
Look,
That's to America.
I think people know where we stand on these things,
Yeah.
you know. Dude, like I have nothing smart in my system right now. You know, shit's fucked, but it was already that way.
Listen, death to America.
Yeah, that's
Liberals care more about abetting a genocide than winning an election. Like, the American geopolitical hegemony, nothing changes. Whatever. We're having fun. I knew we had to get off to something like this.
So like basically I'm holding myself to no standard on this episode, and that could make for either the worst or the best episode we've recorded so far.
So here's the thing. I think this episode is like the long shadow of Twin Peaks season 2, and its reputation has been starting to show itself. We definitely got some of that last episode with like every second James was on screen. We are going to get more of it this episode in ways that are messy and I think mostly pretty bad. And I think, I think maybe this is the energy we need for that as well.
Yeah, there's some great moments in this episode, but it's mostly whatever.
Yeah. I kind of agree. Depending on how long we hold on to this, it's like, who knows when, by the time this episode is out, maybe they did stop the steal. Maybe liberal January 6th happened.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're storming the Capitol and we're going to read fucking Rupi Kaur or some shit.
Oh my god.
Shame them out of there.
I'm still thinking always about that fucking tweet from some liberal in 2019 that was like, if they even try to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg, we will riot. And everyone knows that happened, and it changed everything. Thank you, liberals.
Okay, well, you did see because I sent it to you, but fucking Mark Frost, fucking Twin Peaks writer, was on one on Twitter last night. Someone had asked him, "Who's the most chaotic good character in Twin Peaks, Mr. Frost? You've piqued my interest." And he says Dr. Jacoby, which is the first thing that made me go like, "Hello, man who wrote the show. You think he's chaotic good?" But
crazy.
I don't know. It's funny because like the show, we do keep kind of getting to this, that despite that he's sexually exploiting Laura Palmer for drugs, like the show does keep giving him, kind of like the moments of whatever. But then also he had a lot of posts about like, no, people in Twin Peaks would vote Democrat. They would vote blue no matter who, which is some
no
real
fucking
like
way, man. Bullshit.
I know. It's like, okay, on the one hand, it's like, sure, whatever, I get it. If I wrote Twin Peaks, I would not want to see Donald Trump. People being like, yeah, and he would love Donald Trump. But also, come on.
Just be real.
Come on.
Yeah. You know who has pleasantly surprised me on this day is like one of the most annoying filmmakers on the planet, Adam McKay, director of Don't Look Up, and I don't know, some other things. Basically, I think he did The Big Short. He has a reputation as a bit of an obnoxious but passionate liberal, but he's like, he's going hard here. I mean, he has been like on the anti-Zionist train, and now he's just like, yeah, fuck this party, fuck this country. Like this is a man who was besties with Will Ferrell until very recently.
Oh, did they split over this? Is Will Ferrell like we have to defend Israel or whatever?
I don't know. I think that's the funniest way things could have gone down. I think there was some petty corporate dispute. I mean, a really who cares kind of thing.
Sure. I can't wait till that happens to us when we have our petty corporate dispute. When our friendship is sundered over like whether or not to get sponsored by like, I don't know, some fucking like earplug mattress company. We make earplugs and mattresses.
That's really funny.
Okay.
Wait, can we, just because what else is there to do today? Let's think about what the Lily Sadie split would be over.
ContraPoints.
Oh my god.
it would be whether or not to collab with ContraPoints. ContraPoints reaches out and it's like, Lily, I love your work. Can I come on the podcast?
Oh my god.
And then we fight about it.
Dude, that's a pretty good guess, because I would definitely say yes to that. I mean,
yeah, I know, and I would not. I don't want to be like, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know anything about that woman. I don't want to be on a podcast with her.
Man, that's great. That's great.
Okay, you know what I had written down before the U.S. presidential election was I was gonna complain about when people are wrong about Mulholland Drive. Should we even do that? Yeah, fuck it.
Go
Fuck
off,
it.
go
We're
off.
leaning in. It's time for our new segment. It's the Grouser's Corner. You know what really grinds my gears is when people watch Mulholland Drive and they say, "Oh yeah, the first part is like a dream, but then she wakes up and the second part is reality." And I'm like, "No, it's a dream and a nightmare. They're both dreamlike. That's the point." I hate when people watch a movie or a TV show that confuses them and that they feel like they don't have control over. And they're like, I need to reimpose control on this by declaring which parts of it are real and which aren't. And like, sure, sometimes you're like, okay, this is telling us something about this character's subconscious, whatever. But I just think some people are way too quick to jump on the fucking Fight Club read because it's a way of reimposing control over a narrative that wants you to not have control over it.
Damn.
And is making itself obscure. So that really grinds my
gears.
Go
off, Sadie.
The other thing I had written down is, isn't the new Mount Erie album really good?
It's so fucking good. I've been waiting for this for so long. My god.
Yeah.
Lily fans will know that I am just a colossal fan of the guy. His music and his writing comes up in like everything I do. And this is honestly like, I don't know, top 3 of his like 20 albums or whatever.
I have only somewhat followed his stuff. Like I was really into the Glow Part 2 back in the day, and I checked out like the Mount Erie album, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I love a big long song about the cosmos and whatever.
Yeah.
And a Crow Looked at Me is the one that brought me back in, because that one's fucking crazy.
Yeah, as with many people, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, this one's amazing. Night Palace is like, for us, dropped like 5 days ago, and it really does, even not knowing his discography as much, it does feel like a goat of his. It is like really monumental. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I've been playing it a lot. And also, you know, it's funny, at first when the single of like Non-Metaphorical Decolonization came out, I was kind of like, it's his song in which he says, "Hello, it's me, Phil Elverum. We need non-metaphorical decolonization now." And at first I was like, just hearing it as a single, I was like, is this a bit too like white boy's first time reading a decolonization is not a metaphor.pdf, you know?
Sure.
But the whole album is kind of about that, and I do respect that. And Death to America and Canada and Canada.
Oh yeah, let's not forget.
Let's just say, because that's the other thing about Donald Trump being president, 2016 through 2020, all these Canadian liberals that were like, oh, well, you know, it's so nice being in Canada because, you know, we're not voting Donald Trump for president. I'm like, listen, we need our country as the political entity that it exists as now to not exist like soon for there to be any people alive in like 150 years. That's what I'm saying.
This
anyway.
Is true. No, you're right. And I mean, okay, like Phil Elverum is writing about this on this album. He's writing about just like, fuck private property. Land cannot belong to anyone. He is on his just general like nature sort of ecology beat. It's really, oh my god. Okay, I'm surrendering myself to whatever I'm gonna say. It's so long, it's not relevant to what we were saying, but it's a nearly feature length movie length
Yeah, that's just
feature
80 minutes.
album.
It's great.
Yeah. 26 songs, including, for my money, some of the best spoken word we've gotten on a like mostly music album. Like, he has a couple tracks. Some of my favorite tracks are actually he's just like talking. He's just like reading poetry, basically.
Yeah.
His voice has this great like rhythm and cadence to it. I think he's taking a lot of notes from Florist, another musician who I'm a fan of and who he like tours with.
Yeah, it is truly phenomenal. It's really, really good. Listen, do we want to talk about Twin Peaks?
I mean, I guess.
Okay, I didn't even say. We're talking about episode 11. It's Laura's Secret Diary. It's season 2, episode 4. Let's see what the log lady has to tell us.
Miscommunication sometimes leads to arguments, and arguments sometimes lead to fights. Anger is usually present in arguments and fights. Anger is an emotion, usually classified as a negative emotion. Negative emotions can cause severe problems in our environment and to the health of our body. Happiness, usually classified as a positive emotion, can bring good health to our body and spread positive vibrations into our environment. Sometimes when we are ill, we are not on our best behavior. By ill, I mean any of the following: physically ill, emotionally ill, mentally ill, and/or spiritually ill.
She's bringing like a clinical psychiatry worksheet vibe to this episode that I do not necessarily dig.
Anger is an emotion.
Usually classified as negative. I really like, though, happiness is an emotion usually classified as positive. Like, that's...
I was thinking of Leland, right?
Oh.
Yeah, come on, get happy. And then time is over. You know what I mean? Like, it sometimes when we are ill, we are not on our best behavior. He smothered that man with a pillow.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
Which raises the question of where he lies along physically, emotionally, mentally, and or spiritually ill.
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I don't necessarily understand what the difference between emotionally and mentally ill would be, or just what emotionally ill means. But I'm very interested in the spiritual angle. I was talking about, when his hair first changed overnight, how it felt like he had been replaced, or like something about him had been taken over, how he was appearing in the black suit, which I'm kind of reading into. But honestly, like, the thing with Leland is he seems very lucid about what he did at this point. And it seems like he's just, like in the throes of grief, like in a normal way. I realize he committed, murder, but I don't know. What do you think of Leland's state?
I think I will answer that after the recap, because it's the first scene anyway.
Sure. I will say one last thing about the log lady thing, which is that it is so like written by a guy who is super into transcendental meditation.
It really is. It's so funny. The positive vibrations.
Oh my God. I can't with that shit.
Okay, so this episode is written by Jerry Stahl, Mark Frost, Harley Payton, and Robert Engels. A bunch of names we've seen before. It's directed by Todd Holland. This is the first episode that he directed. He will direct one episode later this season. Dale gets a confession from Leland for the murder of Jacques Renault and puts him up for trial. He's then called up by Ben Horn, who is really sorry that he said there's no way Audrey was in danger last episode. And please, would Dale go give her ransom to Jean Renault? Please. Donna investigates Harold's having Laura's diary, which is mostly just sad, but it's weird that Harold is so insistent on not giving it to the cops. Meanwhile, the elusive travel writer M.T. Wentz is visiting the town. The show gears up to get racist, with Josie's continuing plotline and the introduction of Yellowface Guy. Hank is up to no good and gets beat up, and Andy is jorking it. And by it, well, let's just say, his peanits.
Oh, bravo. And you wrote that like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You're unparalleled.
The energy is flowing through me. So, okay, we talked about it a bit. What do you think of this episode?
I think there are a couple great moments in the police station. You know, the season started out on a ridiculously strong note, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling like this is a good episode of television. Generally, there the glaring issues, of course, but this
Mm-hmm.
is a show that seems to have no qualms with having a really good scene and then a really bad scene.
Yes. When I think about the infamous season 2 of Twin Peaks, which I've brought up so many times because it's so much a part of how people talk about this show, and I'm, maybe soft spoiling you by just talking about that as a thing, but it's, it's really another thing.
I'm very
I think there are
familiar.
like 3 traits of it that come to mind for me. I think it is 1, really weird, campy, goofy plot lines and stuff. We see that with Dick Tremaine. We saw that with James stomping around, sulking while his forehead continues to grow bigger. I also associate it with some really bad plot lines, and like it gets quite racist. We're really starting to gear up for that. It gets just, I think, leaning into the worst impulses of Twin Peaks as a show, and there's the whole thing where at a certain point David Lynch was no longer involved. That hasn't happened yet, but I think still some of the ways that David Lynch, even if the parts when he wasn't there, I think they were like working off some like notes of his also, but like whether David Lynch as an artist or Twin Peaks just as a show, as an object, I think some of its impulses around race, some of the worst ones. And I also associate it with, it starts to feel like a TV show and less like David Lynch putting on doing drag as a TV show. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's very interesting.
And unfortunately, I think that last one is the one that's the most like boring to me. It's the last like category of like when it starts to become more like normified. And it's not like the show is ever like it's always going to be Twin Peaks. There's always crazy shit going on. I bring this up now because I think I'm starting to feel this even in this episode. The sense of like we are seeing the same characters and they're going through plot lines that could easily exist in season 1 of Twin Peaks, but there are moments where like the show starts to feel paced like a normal TV show, where it's like you have this many scenes and then an episode break, and the scene follows this kind of like back and forth dialogue and then a reveal, and you know what I mean? That's like feels more like how a normal TV show feels, as opposed to how a scene of Twin Peaks feels when it's really doing Twin Peaks, which is like it has the same elements of like these characters are hitting the same beats, but like intercut with 40 seconds of like talking about coffee and how there was a fish in it. You know what I mean? Like I think so much of what's fun about Twin Peaks at its most out there is when it feels like someone doing drag as an episode of television, and when it just starts to look like a normal woman like a normal episode of television is when it loses me a bit, and we're kind of getting that here in some ways.
Yeah, the whole thing with like the giant in the room and stuff and 3 hints like that stuff owns, that stuff rules. And I guess I was hoping that it would be more consistent, more of a fixture, I'm sure it returns. I'm sure it Twin Peaks The Returns.
That's so true. Well, it's funny because like I think that's the thing where, again, like when I first watched season 1, I really wanted more of that like really out there supernatural stuff. But I think like this is when I was in high school, I think what really gets me is that even in the plot lines that are just like Nadine is trying to invent quiet drape runners or whatever, like I think there's a certain touch to how the really mundane plot lines can be executed that is not always there in season 2, I think.
I'm just trying to understand what it is that it is missing, because like, okay, I'm thinking about the Dick Tremaine plotline, and I think it's really funny and I'm enjoying it, but it does not feel like, I don't know, the Silent Drape Runners thing felt like I was like looking into another world. I wasn't just seeing a kind of like Dick Tremaine is a character who could be in like any like 90s, like, I don't know, Steve Martin comedy. He could just be some
Yes.
jackass. Nadine was like a total flash in the pan.
I think let's like have that be an open question that we come back to, because I think that is a really like, what is the intangible thing that feels less there when it just feels like it's getting more normie, you know, when it's losing its drag. And I think it has a lot to do with like scene, like moment to moment pacing, because I think like some of it is like the plot elements, but some of it I think is just stuff like, how willing are you to devote like, you know, 30 seconds of screen time of this scene to Nadine opening the drapes and closing the drapes and opening the drapes and closing the drapes. And I've never worked in TV writing, but like I think there is very much like a cadence of someone walks in, the way they deliver dialogue, the way it goes back and forth, the scene ends at exactly the point when you would expect it to if you were watching like a procedural or whatever.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
True.
I think there's so much about just like the timing of line delivery and where the show will just like hesitate for a bit longer than you think it will on weird details that really helps to throw it off at an angle.
Damn.
I think but honestly, let's keep an eye on that, because I think like nailing that down is, I think, really important to our eventual just kind of understanding Twin Peaks season 2 project. So to actually get into it, there are some really great scenes, and I think the first one is one of them.
Yes.
My note is just like, I did not remember this at all. So it's like we're like kind of zooming out of a really zoomed in of like the like perforations in the ceiling, not tile, whatever, the little kind of what's the word for that type of ceiling? The little like cardboardy ceiling things, you know. Yeah, the ceiling paneling. But we're like in this tunnel. And at first I was like, because there's these kind of like weird electricity sounds, I was like, are we seeing like the inside of like a cable? Honestly, you know what it kind of felt like. I was kind
of thinking it was the inside of a person, like a brain.
Yeah, it really felt like it could be all of these things. Like I was half expecting it to like come out at the end of a telephone, right? Given how much we've done that. And we're hearing these weird zapping sounds, and we're hearing a voice saying like, "Daddy, Leland." And you know, we pull out, and it's Leland kind of zoning out while Harry is like, "Hey, Leland, do you confess to the murder?" And it's also like the beeping kind of flatlines at the end.
I do have a note on the ceiling itself. I don't know if this is really just me, but you know how people are prone to like see faces and things? As we zoom out of the ceiling, which is full of these tiny holes, it feels to me like any 3 holes can combine to be like 2 eyes and like an open mouth. It just felt like a bunch of screaming faces on the ceiling in a way that was really horrifying, especially because like it takes a good while before you realize like, oh, this is a ceiling. It doesn't look like any ceiling I've seen. Yeah,
it looks like a crater, like the moon in Eraserhead or something, you know? Is it the moon?
I don't know, still haven't seen it.
Well, anyway, but yeah, it is really out there. I'm also intrigued about that we hear, this like young girl's voice saying Daddy and Leland, and I'm like, is that Laura versus Maddie?
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, why both? That's so true.
Yeah. Wow. This is just I really like this sequence. It's very fun.
Yeah, so here they ask Leland about, you know, his visit to the hospital. They interrogate him. He has no reason to really lie at this point.
And he is like catatonic almost.
Yeah, the daze is like a very real thing. I believe this is where we get like his explanation of like, oh yeah, I did kill Jacques Renault because he killed my daughter. And they ask like, Leland, why do you think he killed your daughter? And he says, well, because you arrested him. And this is just a gut punch, because everyone, maybe not Leland, but everyone realizes like, oh, not only has he committed a murder, it's been for nothing, because Jacques has not been a serious suspect in a very long time, if ever.
Yeah.
Everyone is just really frustrated. This feels like the worst of all possible worlds here. He talks about the experience and the headspace that he was in. He says that he was experiencing, and I have a quote here, total loss.
Mhm.
It's more than grief. It's deep down inside. Every cell screams, which makes me think of the ceiling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It really feels like that intro. Like that feels like we're seeing the cell screaming.
I think so.
There's a couple lines that he says. Harry says, "Why did you go there?" "Leland, I was looking for someone, the man who killed my daughter." Harry asks, "Did you know his name?" Leland says, "No, yes, I do now." Jacques Renault. So I want to dig into your theory that, like, Leland was somehow transformed or, like, encountered Bob or something at the hospital. The way, like, as if we're running off our current theory, Bob killed Laura Palmer. And we know that the hospital is where we first saw Philip Gerard as Mike, question mark.
Right.
We saw him last episode be like awakened or whatever and be like, "I'm gonna get you, Bob." Like, was he in that state when we saw him in season 1, question mark? And then when we see him, you know, he says like, "Oh, my friend Robert Bob Lydecker was in a coma at the hospital." Is this Bob Lydecker? I mean, his name is Bob. So is Bob situated at the hospital in this way? So this makes me wonder, was there a, like, Leland went to the hospital to find the man who killed his daughter, which we strongly suspect to be Bob.
Yeah.
And he says, like, you know, he's asked, "Did you know his name?" "No, yes, I do now." Now, obviously he says Jacques Renault, but like, does this mean that there was some kind of, like, he learned Bob's name? You know, he encountered Bob. I want to ask you, because this is your theory. I feel like we're being given morsels surrounding this, but tell me if
Yeah.
any of this makes you think things.
If anything, I feel like this maybe points away from my theory slightly, because I feel like Leland actually has a very strong character justification for what he did. He explains it here, his motive, how he was like overtaken by pure loss. I don't know. I like something that totally I can't square is like, how did he know this guy was arrested and in the hospital and supposedly a suspect in the murder without ever learning his name?
That's a really good point.
If anything, maybe my man Leland went to the hospital and encountered Bob and was somehow diverted to Jacques. You know, like he was not originally intending to kill him, but then he did.
What also makes it, because, like, you know, things we know about Bob: weird spirit, loves murder. He does say, "I will kill again." And, like, you know, we keep kind of dancing around in the vision of Laura the way she seemed like to be in some ways a quasi participant of this weird murder ritual, and how she was also kind of like, at least again, when you see that face of her screaming, she seems,
Yeah.
even if she's being like spiritually like forced into it, that she is also kind of like, it is a horrifying face, you know? And so I wonder if there's even something along those lines about, like, even if Leland was like, "I'm gonna go kill Jacques Renault." If Leland's like, "Okay, they arrested the guy who killed my daughter."
Mhm.
He goes to the hospital. You make a strong case that if he didn't know his name, I'm like, how did he find him?
And maybe if we go back in like and watch the episode where he goes to the hospital, there's actually just some super clear explanation for
Yeah.
that.
But there's something about, like, is him killing Jacques Renault, like, I could see that being something that summons Bob. You know
Oh,
what I
something
mean?
that summons Bob.
Or,
Oh, that's
like, you know
interesting.
what I like, if, well, because you're saying he was somehow transformed. Like, if you know what I mean? Like, him killing him, if there's a way that he is transformed in a way that, like, he ends up encountering Bob and is transformed by it, I think killing a guy would do that from what we know about him. You know what I mean?
Sure. Man, I still I don't know, like I still am totally failing to grasp the force of Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't understand what rules he operates by, so I don't because I feel like he could just do anything anywhere at this point,
Uh-huh.
which makes it hard to make predictions because I feel like yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah. Again, obviously, I'm the one who's seen the show, so I know things. But I love when you have a theory, and I'm like, yeah, let's see if we can build off
Mm,
that. You know
I
what I
do
mean?
appreciate that. Yeah, I think it makes me get more out of the show, watch, more actively. Yeah, but here I think I'm watching and waiting.
All right. So we're in silly mode. We have like a very brief moment of, they leave Leland, and Hayward is like, oh, Dale, no parent should have to bury their child. And Dale's like, what? Do you approve of murder? Which we'll get into this, I think, when we have the big scene with the judge later, but there really is kind of a attitude that a lot of the people are taking of like, yeah, Leland may have killed a guy, but it's okay.
Yeah, I love this. I realized that Jacques probably maybe did not deserve to die, but I think even Dale is like just really heartbroken at the situation, and I read this as overcompensating. This is him proving that he is the serious lawman.
Yeah. So we immediately, though, get away from the seriousness because Andy sees a doctor and is like, oh, by the way, Andy, about my sperms test. I flunked it. Is it the kind of test you can take over?
I've been wearing boxers like you told me.
I've been wearing boxer shorts every day just like you told me. It's so funny. And I love, like, Hayward is like, yeah, just fill this vial. He just carries this, like, sample tube with him.
In case anyone wants to come.
Which is very funny.
Yeah.
And also he's just like, yes, of course, Andy, just go jerk it in the police station.
Oh, wait, in the car.
Like, right? He's not even like, go home. It's crazy. Andy's on the way to the bathroom. I hope at first he's in the conference room, and I'm like, bro, don't tell me you were jerking it in the conference room. But I guess he was just using it for cover as he's doing his like third person stealth action game through the police station. However, he fails the quick time event because he bumps into Lucy. They both drop all their stuff. She's got a bunch of snacks, and what does he have but Flesh World? This man is jorking it to the evidence.
Oh my god, yeah. This is great. I think this should be a federally protective right. And I'm deciding that right now.
What should be?
Like, they're just doing fucking whatever anyway. Like, yeah, let people jerk off in police stations. Not like at jobs in general, only police stations. And I rest my case.
It's like the craziest thing you've said on the show. TSTV, let people jerk off in police stations. Death to America.
I think it's so fun. This is one of my favorite scenes. Just the way that like it goes from Dr. Hayward in serious, discussing murder mode from like he just turns around and Andy is making the most awkward smiles at him. Like, I don't know, 4 times in a row. He makes like 4 different smiles. And this is how it signals like we're in silly mode now. And I just love it. Like the whiplash in the show is so fun.
I gotta say, Andy and Lucy are such good actors.
Yeah.
They really carry,
Oh my god, they do. In the lower stakes stuff, like there's no one I trust more with that.
Yeah, for real. There's then like the other little continuation of this where we see Lucy storming off, angrily organizing her desk while in the foreground, Harry and Dale are talking about how the judge is going to show up for Leland's case. I think this is where they talk about him being like he rides around in a Winnebago. He's a last of the frontiersmen. Sure, whatever. Death to America.
Yeah.
Let's see. We see that there is no one by the name of Robertson who was living in the White House. Sorry, this is just again the phrasing of the wiki summary. Whatever. They're gonna track down the last people who lived there, and they of course are interrupted by Andy, who I guess fucking jorked it at record speeds. That man getting it out like a pit stop in there, It leaves the bathroom with his vial of sperms and bumps into, and I don't know if you noticed this, he bumps into a guy and says, sorry, Bob.
Wait,
Whoa.
really?
Yeah.
What?
The whistling.
What?
Yeah. Here, listen. Let me, we'll get the live
Bob reaction.
Now I'm just thinking of like actual Bob, Killer Bob, doing his like big fucked up smile of like him having like live Bob reaction in the bottom right of the screen. Oh, also in this scene, Dale is taking notes when they're talking about the judge, but it looks like he's writing on a fucking like calculator. Like, he has a little, like, electronic thing that he's, like, beeping on. It looks like a calculator. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I guess they have taken notes on a calculator before.
I think it's like a Palm Pilot or something.
Yeah, I think it is. But remember when, it was, like, in the first episode or whatever, when Harry wrote a note, or Dale wrote a note to Harry on the calculator?
Oh, yeah, what was that?
I think it was something of, like, he didn't do
Oh,
it
it
or
was, like,
whatever when they were
innocent or-
interviewing.
yeah.
Yeah. So listen, okay, Whistling Cop.
Ellisville. He'll check it by afternoon. Hey, watch it, Andy. Sorry, Bob. Oh my God.
Sorry,
Oh my
Bob.
God.
Killer Bob whistling. He's trying to kill the sperms.
With its ultrasonic frequencies.
Yeah. I mean, okay, this is obviously, we're just having fun, but I will say, and this is obviously just like a side character, but they were just like, oh, they had a guy say a name. But choosing the name Bob, as far as just like, oh, that's the guy that Andy bumped into, is kind of crazy. And like, obviously, we've talked about there's Killer Bob, and there's Bobby, and there's Weird Spirit Mike, and then there's Mike the Snake, with us no longer. He went off to be in Riverdale or whatever, I guess. And also the fact that, like, there's Bob Lydecker, who we have not seen IRL at all, who's, like, Philip Gerard's friend, who is in a coma. I think he was the veterinarian. And then also, like, yeah, there's Mike the Spirit, Mike the guy,
This is insane.
Bobby's friend.
This is ridiculous.
And Philip Gerard, the man who is also Mike, ?
Yeah.
And then Bob, they're just like, yeah, this side guy's called Bob. Like, they really keep... since they've defined these like very important seeming spiritual characters, they keep just taking every opportunity to like have seemingly entirely unrelated character be, you know, like overlapping with their identity in some way.
It's really cool. I think like Bob is a great choice of name for that, because I feel like in the 80s, 90s, that was like the generic American guy name. It's
Yeah.
decreasingly common, but yeah, this is great. Oh my God, what a nice touch. I'm trying to decide if I think it, like, why I think this was deployed. I guess just like, you know, the ongoing theme of like, it's not just the killer who's the bad guy. There's a lot of monstrosity carried out in the same vein, maybe even for the same reasons, by people who are like very human and normal.
Fun. I love it. Whistling Bob. Yeah, the other thing in this scene, Andy is, he bumps into Bob, his fucking sperms fly under the chair. He is going to try to retrieve them, and he's really doing so. Okay, first of all, Andy's a little bit caked up.
Oh my
it must be
God,
said.
yeah, these pants are doing everything for him.
I know, and he's really, like, reaching under the chair to get them in the, like, boys when they're bored stance, you know?
What?
Here, boom. I'm putting it in show notes because that's the channel I was in. This is the stance in which Andy is retrieving his sperms.
What the hell? Oh, this is so me. Shout out to her little mask there.
Wow, that's
Keeping
so true. So Dale is like, hold on, where'd you get those? Because he is locked in on Andy's boots. Well, the rest of us were checking out his tight little ass. Dale is locked in on the boots. I do really like Andy being like, don't make me say where these came from, referring to his sperms.
Holy shit, this is so funny. This is the best.
It's really good. I love, like, Cooper's like, Andy, and Andy's like, please, Agent Cooper, this is extremely personal business. Like, he's really like, fuck, Dale's gonna make me tell him about where sperm comes from.
Oh my fucking God.
But of course he says he bought the boots from Philip Gerard, and the reason why he recognizes them is because they are the Circle brand boots that were at Leo Johnson's. So we can presume that Philip Gerard also sold his boots to Leo, and then he put cocaine in them. This feels like, honestly, the kind of clue that is like, yeah, the guy sells boots, you know, that's what he does. It doesn't really reveal anything about characters, but it feels more like, oh, a sign. And also reminding us, the audience, that we need to, like, Cooper's like, we've got to find Philip Gerard, the one-armed man. It feels kind of like a scene whose importance is mostly just to say, now remember, audience, Philip Gerard was here last episode and walked away, and he's not going to be here this episode, but he is still in the plot. Don't forget about him, you know?
Sure. Okay, I could see this. I was thinking also, like, there are a couple characters that are just not in this episode, and I'm like, what's going on there? Like, Nadine had some big moves with Nadine that we're just like,
Yeah, that's
we're just taking a
true.
break from that. But anyway, for me, this is like, now they have some more questions for Philip Gerard. I mean, these boots have been mentioned as rare previously, which I think is funny. I guess maybe he knows Leo, but like, he seems like such a regular innocent man. Like, we're just normal men. Yeah, this was fun though. This was fun.
This is, again, like, we're having fun.
We're having fun. So I believe this is the first appearance of a hotel employee by the name of Janet, who, I'm not going to lie to you, it's love at first sight for me. This is a
Yeah, I agree.
This is a queen.
Oh, no. Her name is Louis.
Louis? I swear it's Janet.
Yeah, there is a Janet, but this is Louis.
This is Louis.
Which also, frankly, only contributes to her swag.
It's true. Yeah.
Her name is Louis Budway.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
So she's just like super peppy and adorable is how I would describe her. And she's like she's letting Ben know that the famous travel writer M.T. Wentz will be visiting soon, and they're hoping that, you know, they can get a positive review from him because he's like the super influential person in the Pacific Northwest. Yeah, it's like, this is introducing like a really low stakes subplot as far as I'm concerned. I'm gonna bring it back to good old Royal West Academy and say that this is like a Mr. Flowen play ass move where like you
Oh my God.
you have a couple extra kids that you don't need,
Yeah.
and you're just gonna give them something to do. This is gonna be their super silly, like, it's better than being a tree, you know?
Yeah, I love the scene opens and Ben is like, walk and talk. I love when the scene, the character announces that this will be a walk and talk scene. I love that she's walking at like 3 times his pace.
It's true.
As far as this like side character, this actor is really selling it.
She's excellent.
She has an alias just under her biographical information in classic fandom wiki form. The first one is AKA Birdsong.
Whoa.
It doesn't say where that's from or anything, but I guess let's find out if anyone calls her Birdsong.
I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah. She says, you know, my sister called me this morning with a hot tip, top secret, like really enunciating everything. She says, M.T. Wentz, the elusive travel writer, he's coming. Yeah, really having so much fun.
Yeah, so cute. This is not like the most important scene. There's a real like theatrical quality to this. So at the like towards the end of their walk and talk, the camera stops like tracking backward and they just continue walking right up to the camera. It feels like they're at the front of a stage. And with like the really hammy acting, it feels like they're they're playing to the cheap seats, you know?
Yeah, I agree. That's really fun.
I have a lot of fun with this, and there are a couple other moments in this episode that feel more like theater, and that delights me.
To continue there's always some shit going on at the Great Northern. In the background, we see that they are preparing for the Tri-County Lumber Queen semifinals. It feels like a BoJack Horseman running gag, frankly, of like, what is the wild event or the gathering that is just going to be happening in the background whenever we see Ben Horne like doing the rounds at the Great Northern, you know?
That's really fun.
But yeah, so we're establishing M.T. Wentz, which is like also just such a, I'm like, is this name a pun? Is he empty, but also he went because he's a travel writer? You know what I mean?
That's really good. I'm going to call it a stretch, but I love it.
So, you know, all the small businesses, and especially the diner that we'll get to, better watch out for a glowing review from the most powerful writer in the Northwest or whatever they call him, could really make you some moolah. So Ben then leaves Louis and saying, very well done, and walks into his office where he is ambushed by none other than Jacques Renault. He greets him with the Mr. Orne. You look well.
God, his accent is the fucking worst. I'm still like fist pumping that I successfully predicted a third Renault brother, though.
It is really good. I love it. First, he's like, "Oh, we have met. I sell insurance to small businesses like One-Eyed Jacques, which is the funniest, like... Okay, first of all, I hope he really did sell insurance to One-Eyed Jacques. I hope that he's like the kind of Quebecois mob guy where he also has some like above the board businesses and he will just sell small business insurance also, you know? But it's the funniest, like, yes, I know you from the life of crime from One-Eyed Jacques. Which, by the way, I guess it's called that because, like, Jacques Renault wasn't even running it. Was it named after Jacques Renault?
No, it's like Jacques, like the card.
I mean, it is like the card, but there's a guy called Jacques who was, I guess he was just working there. But I want to believe that it was named after him because of my note that just says, if you think about it, the fact that it's not called One-Eyed Jacques is American cultural imperialism. This is how you know that it wasn't really in Quebec, because if it was, it would have to be Jacques Trompe-l'œil, and then under it, 40% smaller, One-Eyed Jacques.
Oh, that's hilarious. Man, we need some own voices for the Quebecois community.
That's what I'm saying. So, whatever. He's like, you know, I would look at my videotape. It is Audrey all tied up. He's like, I'm just the messenger. By the way, your business is run by pickpockets and fools. So I love that he immediately, like, rats out Blackie. Like,
it's true.
His like, you know, his like, don't worry, Black. Like, he's not saying that Blackie kidnapped her, but he is immediately like, all right, I'm gonna fuck her over.
Yeah,
you know?
I really like that he's playing his own game here. There are no actual coalitions.
I love that Ben like swings a little punch at him and he just like sidesteps it. It's so funny, and like brings his finger up with the like, it's so
to
funny.
Be like, no.
His outfit is kind of cunty. It's like a blazer with kind of like a patched like elbows and like back of the shoulder situation and a little bolo tie.
Sadie, you would look really good in this.
This is the thing. This is an outfit I would wear. He is playing everybody because he's like, you know, what you need is a partner. First of all, fucking Lex Post ass over here. The fucking living in Montreal, like sacre bleu, my polyamorous partenaire's appartement is poisoned with lead.
Oh my god. You're fucking running laps around me, Sadie. I can't keep up with these shenanigans today. I thought I was going to be all goofy, but instead I'm just tired.
Listen, you just got to channel it into mania.
Yeah. Let me hyperventilate really quick.
Oh my god.
Actually, that kind of helped.
This really is an episode of all time. So basically, he's like somehow trying to be like, yeah, I'll work with you, but you have to make. I want Cooper, and I love that he like cut a little tape where he's like, so the first half of this tape is going to be Audrey struggling and bound, but the second half is going to be the security footage of Dale Cooper, and he just like. You know what I mean? He just put that on a little VHS. I love that this also reveals to Ben that Dale was at One-Eyed Jacques, and Ben does not clock it at all.
Oh, did he not know?
No, I think it was a secret.
Oh yeah, he was in disguise.
I mean, he wasn't saying he's Dale Cooper, but like he never encountered anyone who knew that he was Dale Cooper.
No, that's true. I
Right?
had predicted something about this happening, and then like nothing came of it at all.
But Ben's just a dipshit. He's just like, oh, that's an FBI agent, does not realize that, and also doesn't think about like, hey, if you're just the messenger, why do you have the security footage from One-Eyed Jacques, you know?
Yeah, holy shit.
He really kind of tells on himself with this footage, and Ben does not clock it at all.
Brain made of rocks.
Yeah.
And a heart made of piss.
Poutine. No, that's... Yeah.
I'm delighted that it's Jean, right? I'm confused with the Kebs.
Yeah.
I'm delighted that he is scheming on a level that I can understand. Because still all that insurance shit with the mill has me so mixed up. And here is a guy who is like very openly betraying everyone and also saying like, we're going to be partners sort of whether you like it or not. Yeah, this is a really cool character. I also like Ben's reaction in the scene, which is that once he is alone, he's just like basically pissed off, and I think he like throws a chair or something.
Yeah.
And it just feels like someone who has like had something stolen from him or been outsmarted, but I don't see any fear there. He's just like, oh fuck, shit. He looks like Patrick Bateman in the scene, like total
God.
sociopath.
Yeah, I love that. He really does. Yeah. And he's not like, oh no, my daughter's in danger. He's like, fuck.
I need money.
I'm being made to look a fool.
Yeah. Ben Horn, rotten hell, as usual.
Yeah. Get fucked.
Get fucked. Back to Sillyville, the return. We are at the Diner. They should just call it the Diner. Basically, Norma has found out about MT Wentz coming to town, really wants to like make a good impression. Hank gets like hype about this and says, call Big Ed and say to like recommend the diner to anyone who stops by for gas. He runs out supposedly to like pick up flowers and tablecloths and things to like fancy up the place, which is so cute because like it's a diner, my guy. No one's coming here for
it's so
fine
funny.
dining. Yeah, and Norma does some great face acting as he leaves. Seems like she is conflicted on whether or not to be charmed, and she ultimately chooses to be. I think she gives us a little smile, and that's a quick scene.
Yeah, I have 2 notes on this. One, I love Norma calls him the most powerful restaurant critic in the state. I'm like, damn, do you think he can cast Fireball? But yeah, this feels like a yet another scene of Twin Peaks going, hey. Because, okay, the scene opens and Hank is like hitting on Donna as Donna's like picking up the Meals on Wheels food to bring to Harold. And he's like, oh, Donna, you're looking great today. I'm having, whatever special occasion. She says, I'm going to have lunch with someone on the route. Hank says, bedpans and shut-ins. Who's to meet? He's like, really kind of hitting on her in a way that I'm like, you're gross. Don't do that.
Definitely.
Fuck
gross,
off.
Fuck off.
And then at the end of the scene, I'm like, fuck, Hank can kind of turn the charm on, unfortunately. As he's like flashing his doofy smile as he's running out, all excited about his little scheme to get fucking, dollar store like candles for the diner. And again, Twin Peaks really, with all of its men, well, some of them are just not charming at all, but many of its men is really doing the like, we're going to show you how this guy sucks, and we're going to show you how charming he can be. Like Norma, I also left this scene deciding to be charmed by him, but the continued tension and contradiction between those is, I think, something the show has really been hitting home.
Yeah, that is very true. With just about every man we want to like, or even men we don't want to like.
Yeah. So we then follow Donna out of the diner to Harold, where they're having their meal together. They're drinking wine and toasting to Laura. Last episode, of course, had the big final thing of like, oh my god, he has Laura's diary. And it is immediately addressed in a way that it almost feels like he's like, oh, you saw that I have her diary? Hey, by the way, I have her diary. It's not like I'm hiding it or anything. It's like, it wasn't even a secret. Why don't I go ahead and read from it? His delivery throughout it all is like kind of crazy. Which, okay, so one, they're eating together. Why would you start reading from Laura's diary at all? And then the passage that he starts reading is crazy.
Oh my god, yeah. I feel like he just flips to a random page, right? Because he doesn't seem to realize where it's gonna go.
Yeah, saying, but still I'm afraid to tell her of my fantasies and my nightmares. Like, this is about Donna. Sometimes she's good at understanding. Other times she just giggles and I don't have the nerve to ask why things like that are funny to her. So I feel badly again and shut up about it for a long time. I love Donna very much, but sometimes I worry she wouldn't be around me at all if she knew what my insides were like. Black and dark and soaked with dreams of big men in different ways they might hold me and take me into their control.
God.
I'm like, hey, Donna, thanks for coming over. Here's your dead bestie writing in her diary about how you were not there for her. You're crazy.
Fuck.
What is going on with you?
Oh my god. Can we like dig into that last thing? Of course, we've heard from Laura before that she was fixated on the idea of like being imperiled by men, but here she sounds to me a little more ambivalent about it, right? Like soaked with dreams of big men in different ways they might hold me and take me to their control. Like, as we know, the visions that have been happening in the show and the dreams are meaningful, but they're almost universally scary, unpleasant. unwanted.
It definitely feels like, this is certainly my reading on a lot of this stuff, is like, even the ways that when we've heard from Laura previously about being, turned on by being imperiled, it really feels like there's a, like, I am in a situation of being imperiled. And, like, this is many such cases of, like, like, I am going to try to find a way to eroticize this as a way to cope with it. You know what I mean? Like, again, one of the things that when we actually start thinking about this, it gets really, really grim, but, like, obviously very, I think, common amongst, survivors and people in a situation like this, that, like, one of the ways that you can move through that is that it does, and, like, not even as an active choice, but, like, that does kind of, your desire will shape itself around the circumstances that it is in,
That's interesting.
I also, now that you like talking about this does remind me of Audrey when we get the scene with her and Jean later, because, which will be just in a couple scenes, but, like, when Jean, when we have the whole, like, he shoots Emery and then, like, holds Audrey, I was kind of like, this feels like a, like, shadow, like, evil realization of kind of her fantasies of Dale, in terms of, like, a guy who would shoot the guy who is threatening her and then, like, take her into his arms and whatever. Like, I think that they're, and again, even thinking about, it's funny, as much as I was like, this episode, whatever, but I think there's things to chew on here of, like, I think there's a lot happening about, like, what it means to have a fantasy of a man and how that can be, like, problematizing that, Dale Cooper, who's going to come in and shoot the bad guy and then take you into his arms. This is a very kind of, like the lawman saves the day, is not, that is a big man that takes you into his control, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, that is really just a, like, valence or, like, trick of the light away from, Jean Renault in his suit shooting Emery and keeping you prisoner as he takes you into his arms, in the same way that Hank being like, oh, check this out, I'm taking $1 bill from the cash, I'm off to do a charming little restaurant scheme, is just a trick of the light away from Hank, who is, like, being a turbo creep to Josie and, like, happy to presumably murder or attempted murder at Catherine and everything. You know what I mean?
Trick of the light. I like how you put that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll keep coming back to what we learn about how Laura sees men and how the show sees men, I think, as a concept. But I'm really struck by, so he reads this, which is an insane decision, and Donna's like, hey, should we give that to the cops? And Harold is quickly like, no, I've read this all, there's no solutions here. Feels like a very pointed thing for a character to say. Both, obviously, I'm like, girl, you just want to keep that diary.
Yeah, probably.
But also, in the same way where, like, when Dale announced to us, like, solve the clues, catch the killer, whatever, for a character to say, like, there are no solutions in this diary, I don't think I believe him in universe, but, like, in terms of turning to the camera and saying that, it's very confident. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. My only thing is, like, if that is true, I will be pretty disappointed, because it was like the big cliffhanger ending of the last episode. It seemed like it was going to be important. And you've told me that this diary was, like, sold, like, as a product. So I imagine there's some sort of insight to glean from it, but who knows? Yeah. So something that is mentioned here is that part of why he has this diary is that his role essentially in this community is to take people's stories and place them in a larger context in what he calls a living novel. And I don't understand what that means.
My note is just like, wow, like a TV show?
Oh, yeah.
Like a living novel.
Right.
It keeps going every week,
Huh. That's interesting.
And the ways, like, when we first met him, that he was like, oh yeah, I know you, Donna, and I know James. Like, he does, seems to have all this knowledge from reading the diary, but it feels like he's trying to be the viewer. Like he's trying to just be the person who is removed from the world of the show. He's in his own little land and is just taking in all their stories and putting them in the larger context. It feels like he is, I just sit here and watch Twin Peaks, the TV show. You know?
Oh, yeah. Okay, that is more coherent a read than I had managed to put together. That's really interesting. I also see this as like, because the show believes in like stories as a socially important thing. Like, I feel like this could also be some sort of like sage or oracle role. Like his ability to contextualize and pay attention could maybe prove important in solving the murder. It feels like not exactly a spiritual thing, but like almost a little mystical. I don't know.
Again, I think the show has a strong connection between the mystical and the supernatural and the metafictional.
Yeah, totally.
I think those go together. I wonder if there's also something about like the food that Donna brings him is kind of like a TV dinner.
Yeah, it doesn't look great, right? It doesn't, I mean, like this is set up to be like almost an intimate, get together with wine and all this. But yeah, the food looks really mid.
And it is like, here's your Meals on Wheels, like in this covered tin. It feels reminiscent of the idea of a TV dinner in some ways.
I like that.
I'm watching this guy on that front. His other his other thing that he says there when he's like, the people who tell me the stories, friends, the lovers. Well, maybe someday you will too. Winky face, which is such a like we get this later when Donna is talking with Maddie, very like, oh my god, are these two gonna be lovers?
It's like
wow,
ambiguous, but it's really not ambiguous. Like it's very clear what he's getting at.
It's so silly. My other note on this scene, when we fade into it, we get the stoplight again. Our old friend. And there's a big like thunder like SFX, and like throughout this whole episode actually there's like thunder and lightning happening all throughout, which is new. And it's something where I'm like, there's nothing in this episode that feels super pointedly like this is the storm,
No, I agree. Even tonally, I don't feel like there's much that earns that. It's really interesting. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. Me neither. And like I keep coming back to like electricity, and so like I on that sense I kept noticing it, but I honestly don't know if it is getting at something concrete or specific. I'm not entirely sure what, but it keeps happening.
Interesting.
So okay, before we get to the rest of the episode, it's time for a new mid-episode segment. It's time for Tales from the Log, which Lily has just briefed me on. Honestly, I do really like this as a segment. We're having a silly one, and today we're going to do it in the middle of the episode. Lily, tell us about Tales from the Log.
Tales from the Log is the new segment on the broadcast TSTV. Essentially what we're going to do here is we're going to look at a character who is not in this episode of Twin Peaks, and we're just going to imagine what they're up to. You and me, we're going to build out a little scene here. Yeah, I like it because it's like our little fun prediction thing at the end, but I mean, it is literally definitely wrong.
I love this. Okay, first of all, this is a fun idea for a segment. I think if we start doing this at the end, this is great. I love just like, this time just do it halfway through to give us some energy.
Maybe it's always in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows?
Honestly, I do really like that. Okay, so people who aren't in this episode, we don't see Ed. We don't see Nadine.
We don't have any Bobby or Major Briggs.
Oh, that's true. We don't see either of them. Listen, Lily, who... I feel like you're the emissary of the log. Who do we want to focus on?
Let's find out what Bobby is up to. Because I don't feel like he has any active plot stuff going right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're going to do with him the rest of the season.
Damn, Bobby wasn't in last episode either.
Really? Oh, yeah, I guess he came up as like they realized that he had planted the drugs in James's bike. But no, maybe he wasn't like physically around.
Well, yeah, the last time we saw Bobby was him sitting with Shelley and being like, hey, we can get $5,000 a month if Leo doesn't go to jail. because of the United States is dying to give us disability money.
So here's what I'm thinking here. I think Bobby should be our Todd Chavez. I think he should be experiencing incomprehensible success in his ventures. Here's what I think. And I welcome any alternative because this is really the one thought in my brain right now. I think he is trying to injure himself and make it look like an accident so he can also receive his own $5,000 a month. I think the first thing he does is he very conspicuously stubs his toe, as happened to me recently in a tragic
That's so true.
striking of fate. And he pretends it's really, really bad, and he walks around with a cast, and he tries to like bribe the x-ray tech to like, you know, falsify the x-rays, and she's just like, what? That's not a thing.
We know he's on the football team. Is he just like playing football? Like he's like trying to kill himself?
Yeah, no, he's like giving himself as many head injuries as possible in this episode.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's great.
I love this. Just intercut every now and then we see Bobby just like doing jackass to himself.
Yeah, let's go. It never works somehow. He just proves invincible. Nothing bad has really happened to Bobby in this show. You know, he gets off really easy. His girlfriend died.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was murdered. Okay. That did happen. So sorry, old Bobby, old pal.
Tales from the log.
Tales from the log.
Okay. Yeah, so after the scene of Bobby throwing himself down the staircase, we have a short scene. Dale is being told is meeting up with Ben. He's getting shown the video of Audrey. I love he's wearing a fucking big ass trench coat for this scene. I guess because it's raining, but he's really serving like this is not my beautiful house, you know?
Oh my god, yeah. Love that.
Basically, this is just, you know, what Jean said to Ben earlier. Ben says to Dale, I do note that he's like, you and Audrey have a relationship. You of all people understand her value to me.
Oh.
Again, fucking moneybags over here.
Die, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he thinks there's maybe some sort of, or at least it benefits him to insinuate there is some sort of sexual chemistry between them. So why Mr. Ben, would that give him insight into your relationship, huh?
That's a very good point.
That's interesting,
That's
Ben.
a very good point. That's interesting. That's suspicious.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
It does clarify his intention, like how he is going to get Dale to go do this thing for him, because I was thinking like originally he was going to be like, Dale, you got to help me out, man. Shit's fucked. And like, no, of course not.
Yeah.
No, he just like totally lies his way through it.
Yeah, fucking puffing on his cigar. We then have another equally short Josie and Pete scene. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, some wild acting in the scene. Okay, so Josie has been MIA all of the season, allegedly out on a shopping trip in Seattle. She returns with a hilarious amount of like boxes and bags, and they all
Women
spill
be
over. Women be shopping. Josie, I want to repeat, can do no wrong. I don't even care about any of this shit. So it's something like Josie comes in and apologizes. She goes like, Pete, I'm so sorry. I guess I assume this is like for the presumed death of Catherine, but no, she was apologizing for some other thing that she,
I guess just being away.
I guess.
Or I guess sorry about the fire broadly. Just like
yeah. But she's heard about the fire. She's not heard about Catherine being missing / maybe dead. So she apologizes again when she learns of that. She has the same line 3 times in the scene. She deserves better. She just goes in drastically different, equally soapy tones. Yeah. Oh, Ed. Oh, Ed.
Wait.
Oh, Pete. Yeah, Pete. Oh, Pete. Yeah, that, whatever. This is a scene that, okay, there's one choice though that I just adore, which is that, oh my God, this is like transcendently great. Pete is talking about how Catherine's funeral will be in a few days. But because he's missing, he says, I'm not sure exactly what we'll be burying. And then the scene just cuts to
it
like
just
wind
ends.
rushing through like pine trees, like everything shaking around.
Yeah, it's a very abrupt end.
Holy shit, it's great. Like this is that thing you were talking about before of like little baffling moments and pacing choices that totally put you off balance.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, this hit me for reasons I totally can't explain, but I adore this.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Again, the show is really being coy about what Josie does or didn't know, because I guess we think she did know about it burning, and did she know about Catherine? We don't know. The show's being coy, and we'll get more of that later on.
Oh,
so this is when we get the scene of Audrey, who Emery kind of drags Audrey into Blackie's office. Jean is there. Oh, and also Jean is also like doing a tarot reading like Blackie was. So I guess he's just kind of taken over that role as well. Emery is like, oh, Miss Horn was a bad girl refusing to take her medicine, as they're still just pumping her with heroin.
I'm confused about this because she seems to be experiencing heroin in this scene. Like she does not seem totally conscious or lucid.
Yeah. I mean, I guess she was fighting, like, at being given more.
Oh, sure.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
And, Audrey says he hit me, and Emery's like, oh, no, of course I did. And he starts giving a fucking speech about, like, you have to handle yourself in a professional manner. We're all reasonable people, and someone reasonable could always be worked out. Whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then Jean here, again, he is saying, like, you're in no danger. Everything's going to be fine. You trust me, don't you, Audrey? It'll never happen again as long as you're with me, in terms of, like, being hit. So again, she really positioning himself as the, like, evil fulfilling of the fantasy of, like, a big strong man in a suit with a gun, Dale Cooper type, being like, I will protect you from ever being hurt again.
That's very true. And also, like, as a father figure, right? Because, like, when they enter the room, I believe the store manager dude says, like, Daddy's waiting, which, like,
yes, he does.
He's not.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. And again, in terms of all this, obviously played against fucking Ben Horn, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. So like the specter of incest is increasingly looming here.
It really is. It really is. Yes, I agree. And so he shoots Emery. She's having a really bad time. She's not happy that he just shot a guy next to her, but he, takes her into his arms to quote unquote comfort her. But obviously this is even more menacing. We're having fun with all these ideas thematically. I think I can read Audrey's situation charitably in this kind of thematic way, or if this has something to do again with her, like, metafictional role, in terms of, like, her interest in being a protagonist and also an observer and all this. But that's the most generous I can be. And I think broadly, despite my interest in these themes that we've been talking about, I think a lot of this does not hit for me. Honestly, because I kind of just don't buy the decision to keep Audrey just constantly in a fucking, like, K-hole of heroin. Like, one, obviously, like, again, we have our kind of political qualms with this as a trope, but it's also like, she just can't do things. Like, agency as an idea, I think, is kind of, obviously been run through with the kind of, like, 2010s, like, feminism industrial complex, but, like, she literally, as a character, cannot take actions, right?
Yeah.
She can only be dragged from place to place and, like, be filmed and be an object for people to chase after and, like, watch what's happening around her.
She's like a more grotesque, like, Princess Peach. Like, she's just the damsel, and that sucks.
Yeah,
and like, she has so much more to her than that, and like all of the things that they were pursuing last season about, like, her relationship to fantasy. It feels like, if anything, she's just being punished for that now. I don't know.
No, I agree. And like, I think, even as I say that, again, I always find myself going back and forth about Audrey in this show because, like, I like the idea of like now you're being forced into the position of observer on a TV show. Like, you wanted to be hiding and watching people, and like, she was doing so much of that. Now you are only able to observe, but then also you're only able to be seen. Like, she really does want to perform and be seen. And I'm talking myself kind of into being into this in that I like the idea of like, you are having your close-up, you're being filmed, you're being put on television for Dale Cooper. In theory, this should be something that she loves, but it's something that she has no participation in, like you are being put into this observing and being observed role. That's kind of what you were chasing, but it is a nightmare and not a dream, And there are ways in which I like that thematically, but all these other kind of general tropes of, blah, 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 the damsel are definitely present. And also, I just miss Audrey, a character, as played by, like, Sherilyn Fenn. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, she's so fucking good. She had such interesting motifs to her. I love whenever her theme comes in. It feels like this is a, like, I don't know what's the English word, like a exigence,
like a
maybe,
requirement,
like of the plot. Just like, yeah, we don't really have
Yeah.
anything for her for the next 10 episodes, so we need her to be locked away.
Yeah.
TV shows do this all the time, and it sucks.
Again, as I start talking myself into this idea of like, oh, it's really compelling for her to be chasing this kind of metafictional role and then get it, but it's not what she thought it would be. Fucking Mulholland Drive, Inland Empire. We love that shit,
It's true.
But there is more lost just from the fact that as a character and as like we don't get to see the actor slay. She could just sit around and loll her head and stuff, and it's like that's not what I want. I want Audrey to be able to engage with all these themes and
Absolutely.
be able to do things.
And then it's not even mutually exclusive with like being trapped here. Like she could be in danger and still acting for sure.
Well, and it's like, it's not like what I need. Like I hesitate around agency because it's not like what I need is for Audrey to like be an epic, whatever, strong female character and like bust her way out of, know what I mean?
Go to the
like,
polls, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the extent to which like the show has contrived this, like, yeah, we're keeping you drugged up to the point that the character is basically just a doll being carried around it. I think really, we could do better.
Yeah, it makes me sad. Oh, quick thing. I love Jean Renault's tiny, tiny gun and tiny, tiny silencer. They're really small. That's all.
Oh, hey, wasn't that a Walter PPK? So I just think of James Bond with a tiny gun.
Oh my god.
Wasn't it a tiny... It is a tiny gun. The Walter PPK is a tiny gun.
Wait, holy shit. Oh my god.
Wait, wasn't your prediction that Jean Renault shot Dale? It was the mystery third Renault brother?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I forget.
Yeah. Okay, but that would we do know he wants to kill Dale. I don't know. Maybe we're cooking.
Wow. Holy shit. Oh my god. No, that you just blew this thing wide open for me. This was like a casual little thing. I was like, oh, funny gun.
Funny gun, tiny.
Let's go, dude. I love making
Hell
a podcast with you.
Hell yeah. Okay, next up, we have a silly scene. So it starts up, Andy is trying to talk to Lucy at the police station, saying, oh, we need to talk. I love Lucy's delivery on basically every line this episode of just Deputy Brennan. I thought you preferred the company of your magazines. It's so good, like
Queen
brandishing the scissors.
Yeah.
He kind of runs out and we see him throughout the rest of this just kind of like pacing outside the doors.
Yeah. Knowing that he's being spoken about.
I know. So Dale comes up and he's like, he's like trying to like use a detective fiction approach to the like soap opera romance plot,
Interesting.
He's like, Lucy, I think we're at a point where it'd be healthier for everyone if you got whatever it was bothering you out in the open. He's really like, tell me things about your relationship with Andy and Dick and whatever. He's like trying to be #rational. He's very like teasing out the clues of this, so to speak. And
it doesn't really work, does it?
Yeah, because of course, he's like, well, if you follow it through to the end, like, do you want to get back together with Andy? And she's like, I don't know. It's very like this logic, not to be like #men logic, woman irrational emotion, but like it is. I think it is more like he's trying to do detective fiction, approaching this as if it's like a mystery, and it's not. It's a soap opera romance, and it doesn't work like that.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah, totally.
I love all of Lucy's complaints about Andy. She's like, oh, there are these things I started to notice about him. He never exercises. And again, she's like kind of like raising her voice at all these so Andy can hear it, of like, he never washes his car, and he doesn't even own a sports coat.
And this is, interestingly, she says that all of these concerns started creeping in when she started either, I forget if it was watching TV or reading magazines. And
she says after I watched this TV show, I decided I needed some me time.
Yeah.
Metafiction alert. Ding, ding, ding.
That's the Lily alarm.
Fuck yeah. It's like she like watched a soap opera and was like, oh, I should do that plot. Like I should have that drama in my life in some ways,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And she just goes for arbitrary things, right? This to me is the strongest solidification that those two star-crossed lovers, it's gonna work out. But oh my God, I love Lucy. I love her.
It's so good. I love, she's like, I took some me time during which I met Dick Tremaine. He has lots of coats and keeps himself and his car in great shape. It's so funny. Also real, like, eat your heart out, Jake Gatsby,
I haven't read it.
So
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, there's a bit in there where he's trying to charm the love of his life by being, look at how many shirts I have and my fancy car. And he's like throwing his like hundreds of shirts around the room. Dick Tremaine has so many coats.
It's great. And then she admits that like the conversation is asinine or something. Like basically like, I don't like him.
Yeah, it's so funny. She storms off. She's like, I don't know. And then Harry comes up and Dale, it's funny. The show does so much like we're in a location and we're just kind of seeing like 4 characters like daisy chain scenes off of each other.
Yeah.
In the same location,
Well, this is sort of the theater thing, right? Like, and even quite a lot of the stuff in the station here is all like one shot stuff. Like,
I really like that comparison, that like note. That's really fun.
It's a set piece. They don't want to, they don't want to have to take the whole set down and just to put it back up again in 2 minutes.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. I think the comparing it to theater, I really like. I think, I don't know. Let's keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
So Harry comes up and Dale's like, oh, Harry, I need a bookhouse boy, because he needs someone. He doesn't say it, but he needs someone to go with him to deliver the money for Audrey, but he's like, it's got to be off the books, so we need a bookhouse boy. I love he's like, Harry, the bookhouse boy. The bookhouse boys theme plays.
Let's iterate on this. Bookhouse
boys,
they live at the house and
it's got books,
make a lot of noise. That ran its course.
Really. We're really leaning into it. So I love he's like, oh, Harry, I got a dangerous situation, and like really steps kind of like right up to his face. Truly, these two, it's just so easy to see these gay boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I got to get up real close to you, Harry. And then of course the scene later is so cute. But before all that, it's time to go to the diner.
Oui, madame. Okay, yes. We get one that is silly, but might be more than meets the eye. And I'm not going to lie to you, I completely misinterpreted this one, so I'm glad to have your summary here.
Oh my God. Wait, what did you think was happening?
You will see, my friend. Okay, there's some great stuff here. Okay, it is evening. The Double R Diner is quiet. Norma and what's his name, jackass Hank, have made the diner all fancy in anticipation of the critic,
and like so shittily. Also,
yeah, definitely.
Like, it is really the dollar store tablecloths, and like we have accordion music playing. It's so funny.
It's really cute.
It's so much worse like this.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, because the diner is nice. Okay, so basically, like a guy comes in wearing a cowboy hat, and he takes a seat at the table, and they are trying to give him like the VIP treatment, and he's just not interested, basically.
Yeah, they assume this must be MT Wentz.
Because this is a guy they haven't seen before, I guess. Like, the really great thing, which is like, they seem embarrassed about one of their customers, and they like quickly usher him into the back.
Toad.
Yeah,
it's Toad who didn't tip.
Come on, Toad. There's just a guy who lives here who's named Toad, and they tell him like, don't touch anything, and he just like eats his burger in the back room, but he totally touches things. Oh, classic Toad.
Classic Toad. He's fucking trying to get a spoonful of the soup. I love that he's also like, they didn't write him any dialogue, so it's like Norma's like, oh, Toad, and he's just like, oh. Like, he's so funny.
I fucking love the thing in a TV show where like you can tell they want to have someone as an extra and don't want to pay them like the SAG rate or whatever.
Yeah. I love the other bit here of like, he's like, oh, can I get the bathroom? And Hank tries to like, yes, right this way, sir. Here our restroom. It's completely private. Like,
we've just had it painted. It's quite nice.
Following him in, it's so silly.
Have a good piss, sir. Yeah. Okay, so while this mystery man is in the bathroom, Hank like reaches into his coat pocket and grabs the guy's wallet. Crazy stuff. And according to your summary here, he learns that it is District Attorney Daryl Lodwick. Now, I don't know if I just misread his ID or what, or if I just didn't remember the name, but I swear it said FBI on there. Let's actually go back and look right now.
That summary is just copy-pasted from the wiki, but let me see here. Oh, it does say Bureau of Investigation, but I guess not the federal one, just the state Bureau of Investigation District Attorney.
Okay, this makes sense. I had been thinking, oh, this is like a stealthy ally of Dale's somehow.
To be fair, Bureau of Investigation is in much bigger letters than District Attorney, so.
That is true. And there's a lot of characters in this show, man.
That's so true.
Is it just me, or is there, this is hardly important, but it seems like there are words whited out on this ID, right? Like after peace officer of the state?
Yeah.
What's with that, huh?
I wonder. The conspiracy.
What I will say is Hank's plaid shirt in this scene is like eye-searingly blue. It is like bluer. It is the kind of blue that doesn't make sense like to exist in the world. And look, shooting on film and chemically color grading and stuff, I don't think you have that much control over how these things come out. But for me, it feels like completely surreal and inexplicable. And there's been a few moments in the show where it's like, wow, that's a really vibrant color, which I don't know.
Yeah. That is a really good point. The show does just look great at
Gorgeous
all times.
Show. Gorgeous. They don't make them like this anymore.
Yeah. Truly, we need gaffers.
Yeah, you would say that.
That's so true. So, it's a district attorney. Maybe he's here after you, Hank, for your parole or whatever. Meanwhile, in the other half of the diner, Maddie and Donna are meeting up once again to be mad. Or Donna's so mad, but no, she's like, no, I'm not mad, actually. Basically setting up like, oh, I need your help to get Laura's diary. We need to pull off a heist. But I'm also mad. Maddie tries to hit the like, there's nothing between us. Donna's like, no, it's fine. We can be poly. We can see other people. Maybe I'm seeing someone else. Maybe I'm seeing Harold. Maybe I'm going to be his lover and tell him my stories to put into a bigger context.
Man, it feels completely crass to make a coconut tree joke here. Of months out of date also. That remains, the whole coconut tree thing remains the one true thing that Kamala ever said. Can you tell my mind is elsewhere today? Mm-hmm. It continues to make me sad where Donna is at. It feels like she is not finding any genuine connection. It's all like chess moves for her. It's all, let me get with this guy so I can like bolster my position and like not be losing our friendship,
Wait, how is it coconut tree?
Oh, the like Harold's thing of like placing stories in a broader context.
Oh, Harold's like, listen, Donna, do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? It's not a good Harold impression.
Very gentle. I think you'd be flattered.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be the plot of what they're doing the next episode, I guess. And also, they still have this, honestly, like, completely manufactured love triangle tension.
Yeah, I just don't believe that any of these people are interested in each other at all.
And, like, you know, this has kind of been their deal the whole time with their, like, should we grieve Laura's death? No, romance. And, like, it is manufactured in a way that feels very aware that that's what it's doing, and it's having fun with that. And I honestly, I am having fun with it, but it is extremely manufactured.
It does sometimes feel like children playing house, like playing grown up.
Yes, I agree, very much so. Okay, next one, I'll let you take it away, but I think we're gonna have a lot to say about this next one.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh. Okay, yes. As we know, Josie is back in town. She has bought beautiful woman's sexy dress. She is wearing it for the reunion with Harry, to whom she is entangled in some way that I kind of forget. Hadn't flagged that as important. Whatever. Basically, she is like very instantly like glomming onto him and like very attached and just like feeling very like, oh my God, we're reunited, so romantic. And Harry is totally preoccupied with like, hey man, are you like a criminal of some kind?
Yeah.
So suspects her because she left town at a weird time, suspects her because, you know, the mill burned, and basically like accidentally / covertly accuses her of having something to do with it. She is very hurt and tries to sort of just paper over that with sexiness, basically, right? She just like dials it up to 11 on like, take me, I want you to take me, and like, yeah.
Well, you forgot an important detail at the end, which is they're kind of, you know, they start making out. Or no, wait, is this? Yeah, this is, they're making to the couch, and we see our most insane Asian man watching yet, as he's like peering in through the window at them making out, like right there.
Oh my God, right.
Here are the good things I have to say about this scene. One, it is a very cunty dress.
Yes.
Slay. Two, I like the initial shot of like, from like super above, like disorientingly so, like vertigo of Harry sitting as like Josie enters and shows him the dress. That said, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it on honestly a couple levels. I think it's funny that you forgot that they had a romance, because like when we started watching the show, I was like, oh yeah, they have a romance, because it's crazy, because like they're both really, really hot.
It's true, and I think they have good chemistry.
I kind of don't.
Damn.
You know, we have remarked on, you know, every scene Josie's in, she's a Huntress. We keep saying, Harry, you have butch swag.
Yeah, it's true.
But I don't know, just whenever they're doing romance at each other, it just like, it just doesn't do anything for me. Like, I don't know. Okay, I'm not straight. So maybe I'm biased in that.
No, but like there are straight couples that we get hot and bothered for, right?
Yeah,
like, that can happen.
Know what? Yeah, no, definitely. And like in theory, this is very uncomfortable in terms of like writing Asian women. But even before getting to all that, you think they do have chemistry. I just feel like every scene that Harry has with like Dale or even Hank, he just feels so wooden. I don't know. I'm curious, and like I don't mean to put you on the hot seat, but like I feel like you have, you know, maybe more of a like, you know, Harry Butcho vision than I do. As our podcast resident femme. Yay! I'm curious to hear your thoughts on like the ways that the chemistry does work for you.
Maybe it's just that I want it to work. Maybe that I see a vision that is not actually being like put on screen. But The thing with Harry, I think he can have chemistry with anyone who is like takes charge more than he does. I think
Mhm.
he has chemistry with Albert. I think he had chemistry with his old buddy Hank.
Yeah. He is a submissive boy.
Yeah, he is timid, he is watching. He always feels a little bit scared of other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And so I love the idea of him just like being desired and taken into someone's arms, and like that is just like it's just sweet for me.
Mhm. I think this reveals part of what doesn't work for me about it, though,
Yeah.
is that obviously in a very pointed way here, she's really doing the, like, I am a woman performing heterosexuality. I need you to take me. I'm being
Yeah.
submissive and all, you know, she's like, she tells him to rip it, but you know, like she is passive. They are kind of serving like, and they were both bottoms, you know, a little bit, but
That's
like,
so true.
and I think this is a lot of my beef with Josie as a character broadly, or, you know, like
Mhm.
how the show, I think, mishandles her is like,
Mhm.
we are given such little insight into her and what, like, obviously part, like the show really wants to prioritize its mystery of like, what does Josie know, what does Josie want, what is she in on,
But there's a
why.
problem there. Yeah.
Well, and I think we still don't really know any of those things. Like, I guess maybe we're about to soon because this guy is here and they're going to talk later. But like, I still don't really know why Hank is whatever, like said that they were blood brothers or whatever. You know, I guess maybe she might have killed her husband or who. I think it's prioritizing these mysteries over her characterization, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And I really was like immediately attached to her as a character and
Well,
really thought they were
yeah.
gonna do more with her.
Yeah, that like the actress does a really, like, really, really good job. And like I think is really not given enough to work with, you know? Like Joan
I think
Chen
you're right.
deserves better. And like, you know, when I think there are characters like Ben or Catherine or even Hank who like I don't really know what they're getting at either, big picture. But we still see their characterization very clearly, and the show is really like walling off Josie's interiority in a way where it doesn't really let us see like her quirks, because it's like, no, she has to be a
Yeah.
mystery. And honestly, I do think that also plays into like the idea of the Asian, like the Orientalist idea of like the Asian woman as a mystery that must be conquered by a fucking Harry S. Truman. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god, like how on the nose can you get?
yeah, and I think that also makes it hard for me to buy into their chemistry just on a
Mm.
interpersonal level, because I'm like, I don't know what she likes or wants really. And then I think we just get into the other big thing, which is like beyond any like just kind of character level, like interpersonal stuff. I'm like, I don't love it in terms of here's our Asian woman. It has been happening the whole time. Even in this
Mhm.
episode, we'll get there again. We keep getting the like, oh, Josie has a little malapropism. Ha ha ha.
Ugh, yeah.
But like there's particular theories about this. I feel like this might be something that like Edward Said and Orientalism touches on directly, but it might be, this is something I should like look into some of the actual like writing, even just like to name drop. But like, you know, the idea of the Asian woman as like exoticized mystery that is inviting the white man in to be, to,
Yeah.
you know, to be conquered, to be like have her secrets revealed or whatever, is very classic. And I don't love, you know, she says, oh, I want you, I need you, I want you to take me, I want you more than my life. I'm like,
Oh my god, yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, I just feel like, for one, honestly, again, just on a like non-political level, I don't buy it. I don't think that I've seen enough of her and what she wants to believe that she wants him more than her life. And then it's like,
No.
oh, is this part of her scheme? Whatever. Also kind of racist, frankly. But
Yeah, no,
even if
definitely.
it's taken at face value, I just feel like in the same way where I'm like, it's not that I need Audrey to be like epic, strong female character. It's like probably not David Lynch. I think someone could write a story about an Asian woman that like, you know, feels like she wants a white guy more than her life, and that can be compelling. But I just feel like the way it's deployed here is just like it just feels like cheapening to her. And I think for everyone involved in the production of the show to put that in her mouth feels crass. And the thing at the bottom of all of it for me is the show is just very incurious about Josie. And like we have all these questions about her interiority and in turn like what she wants. Is she threatened? Who is she threatened by? What is she doing herself? And like honestly, these are all questions the show also asks about like Laura Palmer, and the show is endlessly curious about that. And like so many characters that it just can't wait to show us their little quirks and things. And with Josie, it just doesn't feel interested in that. And it just, I don't know. I don't love it.
No, it's true. It takes the shortcuts. It goes for the easy things like, she makes funny English mistakes. It is really disappointing. On the note of her saying, you know, I want you more than I want my life, or however she says it, that does feel like a very strong, you know, Laura Palmer connection. And I am somewhat intrigued by the idea that this is her sort of acting out like what she thinks her role should be here. This is like how she thinks she can sort of get ahead in the situation. This is her playing her part. I don't know to what degree that is intentional. I don't want to let the show off the hook for the like, undeniable racism in how they sexualize her. But I am interested, you know, thinking about the James and Donna and the fucking names, that love triangle. Those people as like, you know, we are doing this because this is what people do. This is like what we think we need to do. People are stuck in relationships that offer nothing for them because that's just like, that's what you do. You stay married. I sort of see a parallel there that I am interested in, but I also, I don't think the show is as interested as I am, which is a shame.
Yeah. The whole I want you more than my life is like, it feels similar to Audrey showing up in Dale's bed naked, where it's like, it feels like a line that was put in her mouth by a group of writers that were like, I think it's really hot if an Asian woman wants me more than her life. Like, not, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they're not, like, obviously they put it in the show because they thought it would be good in the show, but I feel like it feels like what's motivating that is this image of Asian servitude and like the idea of an Asian woman like annihilating herself for the erotic pleasure of a white man, you know, feels like that is motivating this far more than anything else. And also the other thing is, I think any willingness that I could have to read this charitably is done away with at the end of this episode when fucking Mr. Yellowface walks in. You know?
Jesus fuck, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That guy. No, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
I mean, honestly, do you want to do it now? Because it's just like a short scene.
Yeah, okay. Someone appears in the lobby of the you know, the Great Northern, the place that I always call the Lodge, and I'm trying to train myself off of.
Yeah, we're at the Great Northern. Ben is like going up to the contestants for the whatever the fuck, the Tri-County Lumber Queen. He's like, oh, Katrina. I guess one of them is a Russian Katrina or whatever.
Katrina.
The wiki summary just says the hotel clerk checks in a mysterious stranger, which sure is true. Louis from earlier is back and checking in. I think the most racist caricature the show has given us.
We are told his name is Mr. Tajimura.
Yeah, or it's Mr. Tajimura. Yeah, it's like, it's really bad.
We don't really see this person's face.
Yeah.
It was obvious to me that this is a racist stereotype of some kind, but is this fully like a white person portraying this person?
Yes.
Okay. Is this a character that we've met before? Like, I don't have any context for this. I don't know who the hell is.
Like have we met Mr. Tajimura?
Because this person seems like they're in a shitty disguise, was my gathering. Like, the hair made me think, oh, this is a woman dressing as a man, and not necessarily a white woman dressing as an Asian man. I wasn't sure about that because the dude has like huge sunglasses on and doesn't really face the camera. Yeah. I don't understand where this is coming from. Is this like, was this set up in some way that I'm missing?
This was not set up. This is the first time we're seeing this person.
Okay.
If this is a disguise, this is the first time we're seeing anyone present as Mr. Tajimura, you know?
Okay, cool.
Honestly, like, first time watching this, I think, you know, the idea of it's another character disguise is very plausible. I was truly, the first time watching this, like, really just like, sure, Twin Peaks is giving us a crazy Yellowface guy for some fucking reason.
Nuts.
I mean, I'm not, you know, your theory may or may not be true. I know the first time I was watching it, I was not even thinking on that level because I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ. But honestly, either way, it's bad. If it's a character deciding to do that as a disguise, then at least Twin Peaks can be like, no, we didn't want to do Yellowface. This character did as part of their scheme, which is not better. It's really bad. So it is like, this person has like 3 lines of whatever. It just says like, cash please. And we traveled from Seattle because Louis is really like, oh, where did you say you traveled from, sir? First of all, come on, Louis. Listen, Louis, we liked you. You don't got to start racking up L's. Obviously, Louis is being like, oh my God, could this be MT Wentz? In disguise.
And MT Wentz, like, I think it's been established, is from Seattle.
It's like from the state. Yeah, like, or I think it's like kind of travels around, right? It also does feel kind of like, oh, so, hey, are you from Japan? Or, oh, Seattle? Sure, it's giving the like, oh, yeah, but where are your parents from? You know what I mean? But okay, so this character has like 3 lines, and in them, manages to deliver them in like the most racist 90s ass white person doing a impression of an Asian accent. It's bad. It is bad. Like, there's been a lot of Twin Peaks that is like, oh, this kind of has some implications about how this character is represented, and this shit is like, this is just bad. This is just really, really bad. And there's like
super egregious.
Yeah. Ben like sees him and does a fucking like bow, like fucking like Japanese greeting bow.
God.
It's so bad. I hate the voice. My only positive note was I wrote, now this is someone in a big suit Dale is owned. It's just bad. And like, I think again, having this right before the next like Josie scene that we get, which is basically we'll just run through I think I'll just run through the summaries and we can talk about it all, because then it's basically Josie's at the lodge. The man who has been watching everyone finally is introduced as a character. He is Jonathan. He is Josie's cousin. And when the two of them are alone, they have a ominous but still mysterious conversation. Before we get there, we get another fucking English joke where Josie's like, oh, his biographical clock, whatever. Get over it, Twin Peaks. And then just like this like crazy badger and snake stuffed animal.
This is cool.
Yeah.
This is one of those like inexplicable, very pointed things that like, I want one of these in every scene.
Yes, I do like that. And it's very like, wow, who is the predator and who is the prey? Who's being trapped? Damn.
Much to think about.
But basically it's like, oh, our business is almost done. We're expected back in Hong Kong. And she's like, oh, the sheriff, he means nothing to me. And he's like, oh, that's not what I asked of you. Whatever. And he says, oh, I'll deal with Hank, when she says there might be a problem with him, which we then get later as he beats the shit out of Hank at the end. So the show with Josie really is like, is she the schemer or is she being like menaced? Because the way this guy shows up, he's like kind of bossing her around, but then he's like, oh, our business is almost done, your part is done. But then it really is still doing the thing of like, is she scheming or is she being strong-armed into this and is like being menaced, is how it reads to me. I don't know about you. What do you have to say?
I mean, they're definitely aligned in some way. I don't currently believe she is powerless in this situation. I get the feeling that she has her own interests that are like slightly out of step with theirs, whoever they are. She also like genuinely likes this town and the people. And so like I tend to think she is collaborating with certain unknown Asian forces, but also has her own like conflicting interests slightly that she will be torn between. Josie's like increased presence in this episode compelled me to look up the actress who played her, Joan Chen. I have a really fun Joan Chen fact for you.
Okay.
In 1998, she directed a movie called Shoo Shoo, the Sent Down Girl, which was an inspiration for the band Shoo Shoo. It is where their name comes from and where like their whole ethos comes from.
Whoa.
Yeah, so Joan Chen, also a director, mostly acts, but yeah, just like another of many ties between the band You Know That I Love, Shoo Shoo, and the Twin Peaks-verse. And I'm really thinking we got to do a bonus episode.
Yeah, we should check that out. That is very intriguing to me.
A movie directed by Joan Chen. It is famously a really bleak, depressing watch. It is a rough movie to get through, I'm told.
Well, no wonder Shoo Shoo took their name from it.
Yeah, totally.
I did not know about that. But again, frankly, just makes it even more criminal, the extent to which Twin Peaks is not giving her enough to work with, I feel like, you know?
I know. And I want to say that her career is actually doing really well these days. She is in quite a lot of like acclaimed movies over the last 5-10 years. Yeah, and what a waste.
Yeah. For the show to like have Josie be completely absent from the start of season 2 for like 3-4 episodes, and also in those episodes just keep having, and this Asian man is watching people, that's kind of fucked up, and then have her like re-enter and be like, Harry S. Truman, I need to annihilate myself and be sexually submissive to you, and then say, and here's Mr. Tajimura, the like a racist caricature to a genuinely like astronomical extent, is to date easily the most Twin Peaks has like got out its shotgun, carefully loaded it, and shot itself in the ankle, you know?
I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Sadie.
Yeah. We're coming for you. Is this guy David Lynch in this case, or?
Yeah.
Damn. Too bad. But yeah, it sucks and we hate it.
And we hate it. I really hope the show does, you know, something to address this, or at least do right by Josie in the 3rd season. I mean, you know, this is inexcusable now, but I feel like the conversation had shifted enough by 2017 that like maybe things will be done to iterate on and expand her. Yeah, I don't know. Sucks. Fucking sucks.
So yeah, in terms of the rest of the stuff, I'm trying to take us to our next Lucy scene.
Yeah. Back at the police station. It is evening. Lucy is around for some reason. We have the judge enter, who we have not met before. He's been set up as someone who's coming to town. Interesting guy. He's a little flirty and weird with Lucy. He's like, how about a hug? It's like, sir, you're like one of the highest officers of the law.
Yeah. It does feel pointed how it feels right on the line between paternal and flirty.
Yeah, completely. Impossible to judge his intentions here. Well, maybe slightly more possible when later we meet his law clerk, who is also a very young, beautiful woman.
We'll get there. Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I need you to refresh me. What is the secret thing here?
Let me see. So he walks in and he's like, Lucy, you're a cool drink of water for road-weary eyes. What's your secret? And I actually do really like this, is Lucy's like, I'd rather not talk about it, sir. As in, like, he's just like, you know, what's your secret? Like,
to being beautiful.
Yeah, but she's like, oh no, he wants to know my pregnancy secret. Like, this is like the same as Andy earlier being like, don't make me say where these came from, Dale, my sperms, you know? I think them both having this like Amelia Bedelia quality is really, really good.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cute. You're a cool drink of water to road weary eyes is I'm hitting him with the mixed metaphor
That
hammer.
is such a good point. Yeah.
That's a terrible phrase.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they wrote it that way on purpose.
Not to steal your scene summary, but like the next thing that he says is also insane and kind of funny. He's like, oh, whatever. Life is hard, but it's harder in most places than in Twin Peaks. Sure, whatever. But so he goes up to Harry and he's like, you got the look of a man with filly trouble, son. If they don't take to saddle, you've got two options, and I won't bore you with either one of them. Hello?
This is crazy. What the hell does what are the options?
Yeah, that is funny, but it's also like, girl, what are you doing? You're coming in and going like, yeah, you have to take your filly to saddle. Kind of vile, frankly.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Like, I know that we're playing this guy as like, oh, he's the cowboy judge. But I think I might hate him.
No, I get it. I hate how he's dressed. It is a mix of tropes that I have no idea how to reconcile them with each other. He's like dressed like a businessman in an 1864 great frontier saloon, but then he also has like the lawyerly thing about him. He has like a weird tie. He has these enormous shoulders. Just a confusion of a man.
So, okay, actually, like we meet him and then there's the other kind of little interstitial Lucy scene, but I think I actually just kind of want to get into this judge guy and the other scene with him with Leland.
Sure, go for it.
So yeah, he's here and he's like, oh, he has an exchange with Dale where Dale says he thinks Twin Peaks is heaven, and he says, well, you know, this week, what's the line? He says, this week, heaven includes arson, multiple homicides, and an attempt on the life of a federal agent. And again, I think I keep coming back to like, Dale is so enamored with Twin Peaks, he is unable to encounter the idea that there could be bad things about it, despite that being his job. And we then get afterwards this other scene where they bring Leland in. He starts giving this speech. They start playing like the ethereal, beautiful Twin Peaks music as they talk about the concept of the law. And there's a bit here where I'm like, this is kind of fun. And he's saying, before we assume our respective roles in this enduring drama, let me just say that when these frail shadows we inhabit now have quit the stage, we'll meet and raise a glass together in Valhalla. Kind of silly.
I was pretty touched by this, law enforcement notwithstanding.
So that's the thing.
I thought this was really sweet.
I think that is kind of fun. However, sorry, I was gonna go off on a serious point. I think I was trying to type because after Leland gets taken out, he says, I'll speak for us all. We have hard jobs. I don't know if I did this in purpose as a bit or if I just like, I'll often type while I'm like typing on my laptop and I'm watching the TV screen. Because what I wrote is, I'll speak for us all. We have hard ons. Okay, to get into my actual point, the boys are being kind of reprehensible throughout this whole scene. So this all happens, and then this is when we get his like beautiful young law clerk comes in, and they're like, oh, we're gonna go get a room at the Northern. I'm pretty sure they basically say that they are like, they don't say explicitly that they're going to be in the same room, but they said they're going to wine and dine at the Timber Room and be at the Great Northern together. And this is when he's like, oh, Dale Cooper's like wife, and Harry's like a law clerk. Dale's like, man, oh man, like, wow, what a hottie.
Oh, is that what it was? It read a little more ambiguous to me, like the man, oh man. But no, you're probably right.
I think it's like, what a hottie, but then also like, there's a bit of like, what a pickle to it or whatever. But I don't love it.
Yeah.
We pointed out his kind of like mix of being paternal and flirty to Lucy earlier. I think the show, again, the specter of incest and the idea that like the father figure, the judge, protector, can also be the person that is sleeping with his law clerk. Like, that's okay. The show doesn't tell us that. It is insinuating it, and there's the sense that Dale is not repulsed by this. He's kind of just like, wow, woo, man, oh man,
Like, crazy.
like it's, but also kind of like, wow, what a hottie. And like, if he's
Yeah.
sleeping with her, that's vile. That's bad.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to extend that to like the treatment of Leland here, where
Oh.
I think on the one hand, they're like, yeah, it's sad that he killed a guy, but like, I think there's a real sense also of like cops, lawyers, and judges like covering for each other, you know?
Oh yeah, there's a spoken loyalty between them.
Yeah, and like that seems to be just as much of a motivating force as any kind of sympathy for his grief, you know? Like, these people are
Yeah.
trying to find the killer of Laura Palmer, right? Whatever, we don't need, both of us, we're abolitionists. Like, you know, the prison system is not how justice is actually meted out, obviously, but like, there's just something about the way they're like, oh yeah, Leland, you killed a guy. That's too bad for you. We'll make sure to go easy on you. Rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I think for that to be right in the same scene or like right up attached to his like, oh, you gotta take your filly to saddle, and like his fucking Valhalla speech and his like, anyway, time to go off to the hotel with my sexy law clerk.
Oh God.
You know, when we talk about this show being about like the boiling a frog in water of men and patriarchy and masculinity, you know,
Mhm.
you and I were both to one extent or another like, oh, poor Leland, at least they're being nice to him. I think that means that we're the frogs in the boiling water.
Fuck. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. The show wants us to have reacted this way. I'm
Yeah.
sure of it. But like, holy shit, dude. Oh man. It's easy to lose in all this that the dude that Leland killed, like, didn't he wasn't a good guy, but he didn't deserve to be murdered, I don't think.
Yeah.
I kind of forget, to be honest with you. But like the show cares about his death, not even a fraction of how much it cares about Laura's. It's like, it's just an inconvenience for the murderer.
Well, and that these are the same guys who like did their like vigilante fucking bookhouse boys like kidnapping the other Renault brother
It's
and then
true.
throwing him to the dogs, which did get him killed. You know, like Jean Renault kind of has a point on that front, you know? Like, I think watching this scene, I feel like this scene wants us to be like, yeah, wow, at least Leland will know that he'll meet him on Valhalla or whatever. But like, you know, I was talking, I think, last episode about how I think the show has an undercurrent of self-criticism that is very understated, and I think becomes much more pronounced way later on. Like, we will get there.
Okay.
And this is kind of me spoiling you, but I think we're not really, but you know what I mean? Like, I
That's
think
okay.
on like a broad arc, and I think that is really important to know, because I think highlighting it, I think me watching it again, I think the show is way stronger when I think that it is doing this kind of self-criticism as it does this stuff. You know, left this guy to die through their fucking Bookhouse Boys vigilante thing. And it's also the kind of thing where, like, I think it's very plausible that some of the people who make this show don't believe that it has the same strain of self-criticism that I see in it. See Mark Frost being like, yes, Dr. Jacoby is chaotic good and would vote blue. You know? Like, no fucking way. No way. And so my read on this is that this is a frog boiling moment, because like, yeah, for everything that we just said, like, we are seeing a group of men sit around and agree that it's kind of fun and, you know, somewhere on the like hot to wowie zowie, not even yikes, but just like, whoa, spectrum for a judge to be sleeping with his much younger law clerk, and then go, yeah, Leland, you like vigilante justice death penalty to guy, but don't worry about it.
We still
Don't
love you,
take it too
buddy.
bad. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's nothing
because
personal.
he is a part of their system, right? Because he is a lawyer. I don't know.
It's true.
I think the guys are being kind of reprehensible here.
Yeah, and I think their tenderness for him is highlighted by the fact that although we know he's in custody, we are not seeing him in a jail cell at any point. We are not, like, the show is not highlighting how his crime is being taken seriously.
he's excluded from the class of criminal, and like to show him behind bars would be to like frame him in visual language as a criminal. And so the show was like, no, we see him walking freely because he's not the kind of person who should be behind bars. That's with everything totally that entails, you know?
He's someone who just made a mistake, unlike every other criminal.
Yeah. Do you want to take us to kind of backtrack a bit, but to the Lucy scene that we get before this?
Yes, I do. Oh my God, I so do. So this is that big oneer that I was talking about. This whole scene is a single take, single shot, and is wonderfully acted. Oh, these two are brilliant. Okay. The judge walks off and Lucy is briefly alone in the police station lobby. Dick Tremaine walks in and seems like he's going to apologize and, do right by Lucy. He reaches into his coat and it's like, oh my God, is it an engagement ring? Because pregnancy? Because this is, television. And no, it is in fact an envelope with $650 in it. He's knackered. This is all he could scrape together, and this will be enough to get rid of the, our little problem. Motherfucker.
I know.
He's so good. So Lucy, of course, is just like wounded and furious, and tells him basically where to shove it.
Honestly, there've been a couple of speeches this episode that I was like, would I cut this in? But I think let's cut this one in.
Yeah, I can't do it justice.
Yeah.
Richard?
Yeah, she says, Richard?
Here's what you're going to do.
Here's what you're gonna do.
Take your money, put it back in your wallet or your pocket. Turn around and walk through both sets of doors. The second one sticks sometimes. Go out into the parking lot, get in your car, turn the key, and never, ever speak to me again as long as you live! Say one more word, and I'll scream! Please, please.
I love her. She's so good. She's like, say one more word and I'll scream. And he starts talking and she just screams. It's so good.
She just does it. For me, this is awesome because it underscores that Lucy's like really verbose thing that was set up right away is not just like a random character quirk. This is a result of like people not listening to her, not taking her seriously. This is her wanting to be so clear that there is no room for misinterpretation, because if someone like this motherfucker like has an inch of space, they will take it, it does feel very feminine in a way I hadn't considered before.
Yeah, that is a really good point, that she's like, yeah. That said, it is also very funny. I do love her.
Oh, yeah.
I do love her while telling this guy off, being like, go through both sets of doors. The second one sticks. It's so good. Put it into your wallet or your pocket.
Or
it's
your
just
pocket.
Like, it's so good. It's really good.
Oh, so good. So good.
Man, her and Mike Ehrmantraut would have a great time telling people what to do. just the two of them. Now,
here's what you're gonna do, Walter.
Yeah. So good.
It's good to laugh.
Oh, that's so true. It's so good to laugh in today's world. Yeah, but she's great. I love her. This scene is, I love, like, he walks off and she kind of like runs into an office. And I love, like, we hear her kind of sobbing, and like the only thing I could hear her say was like inaudible and then ascot. She's just like, this fucking guy and his ascot is so funny.
Oh my God, I hadn't got that.
And I love, like, Andy walks by with Leland to take him to see the judge here, and she's in the office going like, Dick, and like obviously she's miserable, but like Andy walking by has a face of like, damn, is she nutting in there? Like,
she's like declaring, penis.
Oh no, because that's his name. He's Dick Tremaine.
No, I know,
Sure.
But just the idea of like moaning while saying dick, like decontextualized. Yeah. Boobs, like.
Honestly, real.
Real.
But like, my read on this is entirely that Andy's like, well, I was jacking off earlier. Maybe she's just in there jacking off to Dick Tremaine. It's like fully my read. It's so good.
That's really, really funny. I love that.
Yeah. In terms of like types of season 2 of Twin Peaks, I think this is the type that I am fully on board with.
Yes.
I think I will love every scene with Dick Tremaine in it, for better or worse, you know?
Wait, that implies he will ever speak to her again. Oh no.
Oh my god, he would break his oath.
Sacré bleu.
Sacré
She's gonna
bleu.
scream.
Exactly, just like that.
Thank you. Okay, we got a quick scene here, may I?
Yeah.
Okay, we are at the Roadhouse, which been ages since we were at the Roadhouse.
Yeah, for real.
I'm glad to be back. Cooper is waiting at the bar. He is making triangles out of, I don't know, bar snacks?
Yeah, it's like the peanuts and the nuts and whatever. I just wrote Dale with the autistic Riz.
Yeah, big time. I actually tried earnestly to read some significance into this. Came up short. I think he's just having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harry pulls up. Dale asks, like, is the book house boy here? And Harry's like, yeah. And oh, it's so cute. Oh, I love the scene. Like, Dale just goes, oh, I'm doing like a physical gesture. He's like, oh, we're gonna get into adventures together with me and my friend Harry.
It's so good because his little pause of like, oh, you got me, like snaps his finger pointing at him. It's so cute. It's really good.
Honestly, really sweet.
Honestly, this is another example of like things that didn't need to be there, but I really like that. Like, I love that as he's waiting, he's just making a triangle with the bar snacks.
Yeah,
you know?
these are the kind of details that you don't get in these shows that are not getting their fucking like art department budgets.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
This and the little happenings at the hotel and stuff, like really fill out the world.
Yeah.
I think it's delightful.
Yeah, so this is just a short one. Now we know what their adventure is going to be next week. As much as last like 5 minutes ago I was like, the boys are being reprehensible, now I am the frog happily sitting in my warm water because I'm like, these boys are great. I love when they interact, you know?
Man.
And speaking of boys, the very last scene, Hank is at the diner late at night. He's in his pajamas, which
I love this.
Like, maybe he's like cleaning late at night, but it really gives the impression of like he's like the teacher
that
lives
is
at the
exactly
school,
what
that
I
he
was
is
gonna
just
say.
like, right? He just like sleeps at the diner, I guess.
My thinking is like maybe they live upstairs. We've never seen their house.
I guess so. That would make sense. But I just really love the image of like, well, I live here now. So he gets like ding dong ditched and he's like, oh, fart. And it's like shot by a horror movie, including the flash of lightning. I guess this is the payoff for all the lightning.
Oh, sure.
Who's there? But it's Jonathan, here to deal with Hank. He punches him and he beats him up.
With his mad Asian skills, of course. He's doing like martial arts at him. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, my note is just Hank is so good at punching a full foot to the guy's left. Because I do really like, you know, I'm raised on Star Trek fight scenes, which are like, I love a real fucking like 80s, 90s ass Star Trek fight scene of like, here I go, I'm winding up my big two-hand punch. It goes a full foot to the left of you, and then you go flying like you got hit. I love that shit. And that is what we're getting here. I think it's so much fun.
But it's just like gesturing to what I was expecting is, yeah, he does the punch, and then the dude does an epic dodge, and there's like a whoosh of wind to just like to signify that he was really quick. But no, dude just misses. I'm sorry, it's just like a bad aim thing.
Know, it's so funny. Yeah, it's really funny. So basically, this guy cleans house with Hank. He gets him down on the floor. I love Hank has a line here of like, I think I'll just lie here for a bit. Of like, he's really getting in his like Joss Whedon. Jonathan gets him with, I guess Josie told him about how Hank did a weird blood pact with her against her will because he does the same thing. Except I love that Jonathan, he's like, I'm not cutting my thumb for this. He like wipes some of the blood from Hank's like busted lip on his thumb and then presses their thumbs together. And what does he say? He says like, blood brother, next time I take your head off, and then smashes the flashlight next to him. Yeah, it's silly. Again, like you say, this is part of the broad Orientalist characterization of Asianness in the show, but
definitely. The show's just like so excited about like, ooh, I know what Asian people are from. Kung fu movies. I love kung fu movies. Let me put their stuff in here. It's just like there's no interest in exploring them as human beings because it's like, oh, I have all these new tropes I'm excited about because I love tropes.
yeah, definitely. All that said, I think I do have fun with this scene. I think on the spectrum of like my continuing theory of Twin Peaks season 2 spectrum, this is on the stupid and fun side for me, I think. Well,
that's the episode, isn't it?
Do you have any crazy dreams?
Not quite, but I have been having this thing recently where God, how crazy would it be if we finish this whole show and I never have a single Twin Peaks dream?
Really funny.
I don't want to give up on it. I've been having this thing recently where as I wake up, I have like a vision of, often it'll be like some person has said something. It'll come to me as like a screenshot or a video in like blasted into my mind that I wake up totally convinced of.
Oh my God.
And then I'm so disappointed because they are invariably untrue. So like yesterday it was that my friend who I thought was gay is actually bisexual. It's not true.
Oh my God.
No.
Was this about a real
Yeah, but
person?
I can't remember who it was.
That's so funny. Just the idea of a gay friend being bisexual as a dream is so funny.
And it's not like I met their partner. They just said I'm bisexual. And no, I don't remember who this was.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so this is like an interesting thing. I'm going to keep tabs on it. Maybe I'll keep a little revelation journal.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you should make a book of all of your revelations.
Call it the Book of Revelations.
Haha. Haha. Bible.
No, that's what that deserved. No, definitely.
I feel like I had a weird dream. I had a dream that it was my birthday and I was hanging out with both. I was like, I need to bridge the social gap. I'm going to hang out with my family and also all my like trans women friends. Never something I would do. So I was like, hello, my mom, my sister. Here's, I think it was you. Kai Cheng was there.
God.
Our friend Naja was there. And then we were talking with them about like, remember back in the day when we would hang out with Hari Neff when she was still in Montreal? Not true. Never was the case. But in the dream, I was like, yeah, back in like 2016, 2017, we would hang out with Hari Neff all the time. So that was my dream.
That's really fucking funny. I love this.
Are we doing any Who Killed Laura Palmer Power rankings, or are we still locked in on Bob?
I think we're locked in on Bob. I'm pleased to have introduced the new segment.
Yeah, I really like Tales from the Log, I'm not gonna lie. Well, along those notes, our predictions for next time on Twin Peaks last time. We had Leland is arrested in jail, questioned, and has an intense psychological/spiritual reaction. He will understand why his hair went gray and he's going Nadine mode. I think partial
You're
marks.
really generous with the partial
I think he
marks.
had I don't know. He had an intense psychological reaction.
I actually think he was very
catatonic,
lucid. Like I was definitely expecting like something to like a discrete thing to happen to him. You know, like
but that opening sequence of like moving through the like ceiling tunnel felt that I thought that's where I'm giving it partial marks, because that was, you know what I mean?
Totally. Well, I will accept that gladly.
And we said Josie and the mysterious man are doing corporate espionage for a competing hotel chain, and he's Josie's brother. Partial marks. They're doing some kind of something. They have some work plan, and he's your cousin.
You're so nice to me.
I don't know.
That's a zero. That's not. I was exactly next to the truth. No overlap.
Yeah. What happens next time on Twin Peaks, Lily?
Okay. I think Mr. Tajimura is in fact a woman.
Mm-hmm. Because of the woke left.
I think an Asian woman. I just have the feeling that if they were doing full-on Yellowface in the show, I would have heard about that. I want to believe.
Do you want me to confirm or deny this?
No, I think let's find out.
Okay.
And are they MT Wentz, though? Yes. This is also MT Wentz.
But wait, is MT Wentz... Does this mean that MT Wentz is also... Like, by also, do you mean that, like, they're here for some scheme-related reason, but then also are empty Wentz. It's both at once.
This seems a little contrived, doesn't it?
To be fair, so does the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. The longer I think about it, the more like Empty Ones really felt like a single episode plot line, and I feel like they're setting it up so it needs to come back, but I don't need it to, you know? Yeah, this is Empty Ones, very serious about disguise.
I'm always serious about disguise. Sorry.
You know what? This is gonna be such a long prediction. Does not like the Great Northern. I think has suspicions.
Yeah. About like the crimes. Empty Wentz breaks the case wide open.
Love it. Okay, and then that's a B plot thing. What is the A plot?
Okay, so let's see. We know that Donna and Maddie want to go steal the journal. We know that Dale and Harry are gonna go and try to ransom Audrey. Those are the things that we know.
Yeah. Okay, here's another thing I know, okay? A friend of mine says that the Orchid's Curse, which is our next episode, is like one of his favorite episodes in the whole show.
Oh, interesting.
That leads me to believe that probably it is a plot important one. Probably something big happens. I think they successfully extract Audrey from One-Eyed Jacks.
Mm-hmm. You got to put some spice in there. I need more. Yeah.
No, I agree. Pictures of Spider-Man.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where that came from. Okay. What are the range of possibilities that could happen? Man, we're still so early in the season is the thing. So like I want to predict a big like standoff between Audrey and her dad, but then no, that's going to happen later if it happens.
I don't know. No, go for it. Who knows? Anything can happen. Okay, because here's the thing, Lily. We're early into the season, but I don't think you need to worry about that. If we've learned anything about Twin Peaks so far, it's that it moves at the narrative pace that it wants to. You know what I mean?
That's very true.
It could decide next episode that Audrey like shoots her dad with a gun, and then the rest of the season is like Ben Horn recovering alongside Leo Johnson, and they go to physical therapy together. Like anything can happen, you know? That's like this is what I need you to embrace for these predictions, you know?
Sure. Okay. Here's what it's gonna be. Jacques Renault's treachery of Blackie becomes obvious in this process, and I think she dies. I think he shoots her.
Blackie dies or Audrey?
Yeah, Blackie dies. Man, I had a while there where my predictions were really good. I miss those days, but also I'm having fun with these ones.
Your predictions aren't bad. You just need to lean all the way in, I think.
But so I'm just giving up on being right?
No.
I mean, maybe that is more fun.
I think leaning all the way in is more likely to make you be right than not. I think. Genuinely.
Maybe.
All right, so
okay, well,
next time on Twin Peaks, Mr. Tajimura is an Asian woman, which frankly, it's the kind of thing where this shit is so racist that I don't know if it would be worse to have a white actor doing it than to make an Asian actor do this voice, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Is Empty Wentz in disguise, does not like the Great Northern, and breaks the case wide open while investigating her suspicions through her, I guess, travel writer investigative techniques. Meanwhile, Jacques Renault's treachery of Blackie becomes obvious as the boys rescue Audrey and Jean shoots Blackie dead.
Yeah.
And that's next time on Twin Peaks.
That's next time on Twin Peaks. Thank you so much for listening. Let's have some parting words about the state of that great republic to our south. I'm really looking forward to it not being around anymore.
Yeah, shout out.
I don't know how long I give that, but I need something
I need it to die.
I need it to die.
As Phil Elverum would say.
Yeah. You know what, Phil? Play us out, huh?
Hell yeah. Bye.
Bye. TSTV is hosted by Sadie Avery Lake and yours truly, Lily Alexander. Our music is by Jamie Page, show art is by Mya Fernandes-Giles, and this episode was edited by Mary Chan at Organized Sound Productions. If If you have any burning questions or comments for us, please send us an email at hello@tstv.show. We would love to hear from you. Thanks for listening.
Okay, let's talk content warnings for Twin Peaks Season 2, Episode 5, also known as Episode 12 of the show as a whole, also known as The Orchid's Curse. There's more Mr. Tajimura. It's still racist. It's bad. He will keep showing up. There's some, like, especially near the end, there's some, like, spooky action in a way that's like, oh, these women are being threatened, but not in a way that is, I think, too, like, upsetting. Just like, it's going for that. Mainly, it's Mr. Tajimura time. It sucks. It's here now. He'll keep appearing for a few more episodes, and then we'll be free. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. Bye.